Everybody, welcome to another episode of the What's Good Games podcast. I'm Andrea Renee, joined by Miss Alexa Ray.
Hello.
Miss Christine Steimer.
Hi.
And Rudolph, what did we say?
Pale-nosed reindeer.
That's right, Brittany Brombacher,
Hello.
ladies and gentlemen.
And Steimer was like, and if you ever saw it, you would say,
because you
powder
said
that
it,
shit.
You said
Powder
something
that
about
shit.
you said it was shiny.
Whatever, Steimer.
And then I was like, if it was shiny, you do powder in that.
Go away.
Welcome to your pre-holiday episode of What's Good Games, where we talk about video game news, commentary, analysis, and of course, funny stuff.
Yeah.
We've got Cappy in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
How old are you, Cappy?
Alexa feels very strongly about this.
You brought that
brought
monitor
him
into
here.
this
I did
house,
bring him here.
Okay. So he's going to be staring you down if you are watching this video at youtube.com/whatsgoodgames. But for everybody listening on podcast services all over the beautiful, beautiful earth that we live on, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all of the ratings and the stars and the comments. You guys, it's getting close to the end of the year, and I'm getting a little wistful over what an amazing year we've had. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been a year.
It's been a whole year.
Jesus.
It's crazy town.
It is crazy town.
I feel like we were all just sitting in here, like, discussing what our intro video was going to say and, like, how we were going to, like, do our thank you video on Patreon. It's like, holy
we were
shit.
little babies back then.
Yeah.
So young and full of hope.
Watching that video, like, we all look differently, too. Like, we all have kind of different hair.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I
had to
feel like
cut
my
mine
hair's
because
exactly the
It
same.
was two different lengths.
Yeah.
My hair was two different lengths.
I look way more tired than I did
Wait,
in
now or
June.
you-
Now than I did
Okay.
in June.
I was more of a brunette than a blonde.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you
You
had
had some
darker
dark
hair.
streaks happening.
Did.
I liked it, though.
Thanks.
Yeah. Are you going to keep this look going the whole show? I love it.
So for those of you listening, not watching, I have a reindeer, what are these called? Headbands.
Headband.
And then I have a Santa hat and one of the antlers. Now the problem is this headband is very tight and it's like slowly like crushing my skull. So I'm going to try to like keep it through the first segment.
What
But
if I just hold my fingers right here?
I like that
Does
a
that
lot.
help?
Yeah, actually it does. Thank you.
I'm alleviating the pressure
God, you
from her
guys.
head. And this is how close of friends we are.
Yeah.
I'm going to see. We'll time it out to see how long you can hold on for that time. All the ladies are wearing
Your hands are cold.
our Santa
that
hats. Hopefully you guys made it onto the nice list this year instead of the naughty list.
Naughty.
Was anybody actually afraid of being on the naughty list? Did your parents
I don't
like,
know,
give you
man.
actual repercussions?
No, because I was a fairly well-behaved child because I was terrified of my parents.
Oh.
Not terrified,
No,
like
same.
they didn't beat me.
Same.
but,
I
like,
had a military mom, so there was no
Yeah.
getting out of line with her.
Yeah, I had a military father, so yeah.
No, but I do remember my cousin, who was a complete brat growing up, would always get very nice to me around the holiday time because he believed in Santa and he was like, okay, I got to be real nice to my cousin. But then as soon as Christmas was over, right to being little dick again. I see you, Josh. I see you.
Right, to being
Wow.
a little dick
No, it's
again.
true. I remember being like, because I was a very like passive child, and so I would never stick up for myself or do anything. So I was always so happy when Christmas was over because he would be so nice to me because we spent a lot of time together growing up.
Well, you were happy when it was over? Wouldn't he go back to being mean after?
No. Sorry, I was happy when it was like starting.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a little bit of a cold right now. I'm not firing on all cylinders, so please bear with me. You won't be able to tell the difference. I'm always this weird.
It's
Fine.
true.
Unbearable.
Yeah,
I'm
my
sorry.
Sarah.
I have to do teddy puns because I don't know.
Why not?
I just have to. It's just
It's in your blood.
just in me now.
Oh, God. News.
Yes. Thank you, Alexa Ray. Keeping us on track. So just as a reminder before we get started with the news, we had a really cool video come out earlier this week. We had the lovely Ashley Birch along with Mr. Chris Floyd from Deck 9 Games into the studio here to talk about Life is Strange Before the Storm. Episode 3 is out this week. We played a little bit of it. You can see the first 20 minutes with commentary from Ashley and Chris, Alexa, and Britt on our YouTube channel. There's some really good stuff in that video if you guys want to take a look. Obviously, it is the first 20 minutes of the episode, so there will be spoilers for what happens in the first part of the episode, but no major decisions happening up front. But some really fun commentary if you guys want to take a look at that. It was really great having Ashley and Chris here in the studio. We also still have our holiday tea available at teespring.com. So that's teespring.com/stores/what'sgoodgames or teespring.com/what'sgoodholiday. That's only going to be running for another couple of weeks. So this will probably be the last week that we promote it. So if you want to get your hands on it, I'm wearing it in the YouTube video right now.
Can you get it from?
Not this long sleeve version, but this design on a t-shirt. There is
Sweatshirt.
a men's shirt, a lady shirt, a sweatshirt, and a long sleeve t-shirt.
No, I meant if you're watching on YouTube. Like the thing, is that going to be working by the time this
It
goes
should
up?
be, yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, there should be a little carousel right below. If you click on any of those items, it will take you to our YouTube store. I'm not sure if the holiday tee specifically will be showing up in those, because it'll be our most popular designs that are down there. But that's a really cool new integration that Teespring launched. So our merch partner launched this integration with YouTube where you can buy our merch directly through our YouTube page, which is a really cool and convenient way to help support us. You adjusting, Brittany adjusting her microphone stand.
It's slipping on me. Sorry.
It's okay. We probably should replace it. That one always seems to give us trouble. If you guys want to get involved on our Patreon page, you can do so for just $1 a month. Perhaps you want to gift somebody the gift of What's Good Games.
We're pretty
this
good
holiday.
gifts.
And it's super easy to do last minute because it's digital. You just, send an e-card from some ecards.com and be like, here's a month or a year of What's Good Games. Just saying, if you're struggling for a last minute gift idea, we bring the funny stuff.
We're pretty
The funny
entertaining.
stuff.
Yes, indeed. But now on to the news. As you guys may guess, it's pretty slim pickings this week. We aren't going to do a formal news section on the podcast next week, as it will be our What's Good Games Awards, talking about our favorite games of the year and our special handpicked categories. But for right now, we've got some news from
The place.
Famitsu.
Internet?
So,
Wow, that was weird. I couldn't
I
get
know.
that word out.
The internet. The internet.
Technically, the news is from Atlas. So, as written up by Paragon, Atlas is bringing back Catherine. Its unique 2011 puzzle game developed by the Persona team. A PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita remake is currently in development, the company revealed, with updated visuals and an entirely new content planned for the game. Catherine, full body, will again star Vincent, who's caught in the middle of several very different women named Catherine. In the daytime, he wrestles with his desires and temptations. At night, while he's asleep, he is transported to a mysterious, sheep-filled hell where he must solve puzzles as fast as he can or die.
Have you played Catherine, right?
I've never played Catherine.
Me either.
Oh my God, you two.
So this sounds very intriguing.
Is that surprising to you that I've never played Catherine, though?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
learning. I'm
surprised
learning this.
maybe more about Brittany.
No, I've always meant to play it. I just haven't.
It's so good.
I didn't finish it because what happened was I was playing it. I put it down. I went on vacation or something, and I came back and was like, I don't remember how to play this game.
Oh my God.
And then I couldn't. I tried watching tutorials, but it was just it was done. Like, so what I want from this, I want an even babier ass baby mode because I played it on Super Baby Easy, and it was still really very hard.
It's challenging.
So I kind of want like an even dumber down version. That's not a word.
So
Yeah.
what makes it difficult?
Well,
So-
before you
sorry.
answer that question, there will be new difficulty levels according to early details from Famitsu, as well as new mechanics to complete the block switching puzzles. There will also be online multiplayer battles
shit.
in the PS4 and Vita version, unlike the original single player release. During the day, Vincent will not only have to juggle his feelings for Catherine, but a woman named Rin. She'll
They're
add
adding another character.
She'll add another wrench into the story, which adds a new cutscenes and even a handful of new endings.
Oh my God.
They
So
should have. Her name should have been like Kitty or something. I don't like that it's not going.
that
with
it's not.
Catherine
It's not
theme.
with Catherine. I played that game through and to get every single ending. So I've played that game several times.
Oh my God! I'm gonna make you
I-
sit and watch and be like, "Help me with the puzzle."
I love that game. Not just because like I liked the puzzle puzzle stuff and like the way that game is about adult relationships and about like sex and cheating and like futures with like people and like I played that game for the first time as one of my like younger relationships was imploding and I was just like, oh, I get it now. But like it's so
I get it. All men are sheep climbing a tower.
Pretty much. All men no. That's the moral of this game. All men are sheep climbing a tower. They're just sheep trying to climb a tower before a giant vagina monster gets them.
There are some really strange monsters in the game.
There's a giant vagina monster.
And there's like
it's
a
an
weird
open
deformed
labia.
baby.
And it's like crawling up the baby.
The baby was so freaky.
Yeah. Catherine's it's really unique. It's really fun. I'm excited to see it coming back.
I'm excited because I'm hoping, like these new difficulty levels, I'm hoping there's like
new vagina monsters.
Baby mode. And then I can play it and finish it because I've really wanted to. I just sat there. I was like, I'm going to have to sit and watch a YouTube tutorial on every single one of these levels. And I didn't feel like playing it that way.
What's up with Atlas and their genital monsters?
I don't know.
Japan.
That dick monster in P5.
Oh, yeah,
like the
that
dick
dick
in the
monster.
cart.
They've always had dick monsters.
Yeah.
Have you
I
seen?
feel like this is just a Japan thing.
I mean, I don't think any developer in America would be like, let's put a dick on it. But in Japan, it's like, how many dicks can we get away with?
We can put all of the dicks.
That's true. Well, I mean, there is a game called Genital Jousting.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like.
But that's not a fun
not
dick.
real.
That's like an actual dick. These are
That's-
like secret monsters that look
God,
like
they
dicks.
just are phallic monsters.
True.
Yes.
Okay.
They're very phallic.
I see
Very,
what you're
very phallic.
saying.
But the monster in Catherine is literally like an open labia with eyes.
That's kind of horrifying.
It is horrifying.
All of the things
and
that
it's
chase
moaning,
you-
and it's moaning the whole time it's climbing after you.
No.
It's
The
really
baby is creepy
uncomfortable.
too.
But does the
Baby's
baby come out of this vagina
No,
monster?
the
No.
baby's a separate thing.
Oh.
It's meant so it's
Missed
meant,
opportunity.
It's meant to make so the monsters chasing you. So you're going up a puzzle tower, and the monsters chasing you up that puzzle tower are meant to distract you and make you uncomfortable. It's all part of the
It's part of the thing.
part of the puzzle.
There's also like I think Catherine with a C. No, with a K.
Blonde Catherine.
No, other Catherine.
Pink
Like
hair
in a wedding
Catherine.
dress.
Oh yeah,
And
her.
she's like coming after you and
yeah.
you're like,
Yeah, it's basically about this guy that like can't commit to anyone and has like a long-term girlfriend and then like meets this young woman and it's like this big like thing.
and
Oh, he's also played by Troy Baker and the young woman is played by Laura Bailey. So that's another.
is that Laura?
Yes, Laura.
didn't know that.
Laura's young.
Sorry.
He's young
That's
Catherine.
so funny.
Yeah.
So how does the game play? Like, what is it?
Can you? I mean, the gameplay part of it is the puzzle solving, where it's essentially
So there's no like
blocks.
turn-based.
No,
No.
Got
it's
it.
all real time, and you will die a lot.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, understood.
And so
It's
you're
just-
basically like moving blocks back and forth and in different ways, and the blocks will do different things depending on what level you're at. And the goal is to get to the top of the tower before the monster catches you, whatever is chasing you.
And there's this whole meta thing dealing with the like the story of Rapunzel. Like so all of the cutscenes take place in like this bar, and I think there's some like dialogue choices as well.
There
And
are.
it's like-
It's like very Persona-y
Yeah,
when
it's
you kind of go
Persona-y.
and chat with people, but minus
It's not as complicated.
there's no like S-links or anything in this.
Yeah, it's not as complicated as Persona, but it's really great.
I'm
It
sold.
is described as an adult and mature-oriented puzzle video game.
Very
Vagina
true.
monster.
All right.
An unconventional romantic horror.
Yes.
Yes.
Romantic horror.
Oh, yeah.
It is. And I honestly think you'd really dig
I
it.
think I would
Brittany.
too. Put it
Oh,
on my
I can't wait.
backlog.
I
can't
think
wait.
this is like everything you described makes me instantly not want to play this game.
Too bad.
But I will watch somebody else play this game.
Okay.
Andrea's Weeaboo education starts in January.
It begins.
Okay, if you insist.
If they have
do
new
insist.
scenes, does that mean it's the same voice actors? Did Troy come back for this?
Dun dun dun.
I don't know.
Figured.
I know he has. I know they all have like sound alikes. So
Yeah, they
maybe-
do.
Yeah.
It's usually Matthew.
It's
Mercer
Matt
for
Mercer.
sure.
And then when it's not Matt Mercer, it's Ray Chase.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have a line of like if they can't fill in, they fill in. Noctis. Shout out.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye out on release date information. Obviously, it was just announced that they're making it, so I guess maybe late 2018 at its earliest would be my guess. Maybe early 2019, but we will keep you posted when the vagina monster will be back.
Can't wait.
Next story. For Honor, Ubisoft's medieval combat game, has been having a little bit of an issue this week because they had a groping execution animation accidentally added to the game. So it was quickly removed and replaced. But
What's that? Pterodactyl?
this is an interesting, a little bit of an interesting story. So
that is the sound of the disappointed pterodactyl.
yeah. So let me read this. So Game Informer wrote this up. Last month, Ubisoft added a new execution for the Valkyrie hero and has had a headache and a half removing and replacing it. The execution, which you see in the video below, which you don't see because that's you're listening to me, involved the female Valkyrie plunging her spear into the enemy's gut, who then falls forward. The enemy's hands land on the Valkyrie's breasts, who, despite having just had a spear run through, then begins pantomiming apology motions. So to describe it,
how about we just reenact it, Alexa? You want to?
I mean, this is inappropriate.
What? She can grope me. It's okay. I gave her permission.
Let me just
Consent,
let me
kids.
just verbally describe it for everyone. So the Valkyrie character is a very like tanky Viking woman who's got like the braids and the horns, and she's wearing armor. She's got this giant spear. Obviously, it's an execution move, so she's killing, like doing the final blow on the character she's killing. She stabs him in the core with the spear, pulls the spear out. The guy then stumbles forward and falls with his hands smack on top of both of her breasts, like full on, like grabbing, like groping the boobs.
Yeah, not like
I don't know.
not
Every
like
time
not
I've
like a
executed
I
a
fell.
dude, he just goes straight for the boobs.
Not like an I fell, but like a I want to grab him.
Right. And then
Wait.
One last grab.
And then she looks down briefly, sees his hands on her boobs. He looks up, shakes his head like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to grab your boobs as I was dying." And then she kicks him in the groin and then pushes him backwards again and stabs him one more time. And then he's dead.
That's really involved.
And then he
Yeah.
did.
How was that an accident? Somebody animated that.
Somebody intentionally animated this. Yes.
Right.
So that was what was in the
accident
game.
was-
Let me continue the story really quick. It was updated to have the Valkyrie kicking him and then we're stabbing him, and then he falls and his hands get put on her shield instead. Oh, she backhands him with the shield as the end of the animation. Sorry. So the execution was pulled immediately. Ubisoft called it a bug fix. Yesterday, the execution was finally, yesterday would be Monday of this week, Tuesday of this week.
bug fix.
The execution was finally replaced with a similar animation as I described, and where she's kicking him in the crotch. So on the For Honor subreddit, fans of the game have been dragging on the new version and decrying the removal as censorship. The most vocal opponents of the change are accusing Ubisoft of cowing to pressure from complaints. Independent verification could not find any complaints during the time the execution was available. When reached for comment, Ubisoft told Game Informer on November 9th an unapproved For Honor execution for the Valkyrie was incorrectly made available in-game and removed within an hour of release. Any players who purchased the unapproved execution had their steel refunded, steel being the in-game currency. Our team has implemented additional stopgaps to the development process to ensure insensitive content is not incorporated into For Honor. The proper version of the execution was released on December 18th. Ubisoft mentioned that the feedback and complaints were not seen or taken into account before the mistaken execution was removed. Polygon added to this story by saying that they found a Redditor who made an interesting comment. Killing an unarmed person while they kneel hopelessly while your character laughs and slits their throat? That's fine. Crushing someone's fucking skull using nothing but their bare hands while they scream? That's fine. Original no touching execution? Oh no, that's just too far. And here I thought a French company wouldn't change something based on American values. One Redditor, however, noted that even if the game carries a mature rating from the ESRB, it does not have the sexual themes content descriptor.
Yeah.
The no-touching animation theoretically could require a re-rating or relabeling, which wouldn't change to whom it could be sold, but would be a headache for Ubisoft.
Okay, well, these people complaining about it being removed, like, they would get mad if, like, they decided to put in an animation where, like, a woman falls forward while she's dying and, like, cups the guy's balls or something. Like, it doesn't go two ways. These things don't go two ways.
You think people would be mad about that?
I don't think they would.
No, like,
I don't think so.
no, like, if it was, what did I say? If it was removed.
Oh,
Same thing.
I see what you're saying.
I see. Okay.
Like, it's the same thing. But also, like, that's wildly inappropriate. Like I just
also I think it's weird. Like I haven't heard about this except for now, and if it was removed immediately, then
I'm just really
then it's not them bowing to pressure. It was them going, oops,
we did it.
Yeah, so I'm confused about the timing of everything and why this is getting reported now. Maybe it just bubbled up on the For Honor subreddit, and then like because I saw this story on a few different news sites. I think the interesting part is like the conversation about, is this censorship? Being a mature rated game, is this okay? Also, like, it comes back to the age-old video game debates: sex versus violence. What is worse? And that's obviously not just exclusive to video games. That, of course, goes across TV, movies, and other forms of literature as well. I wouldn't call this censorship because I think it's clear that Ubisoft pulled it down without being told to pull it down. They were like, this animation was not supposed to be in the game. That being said, if it wasn't supposed to be in the game, why does the code still exist?
But also just like, I'm really fucking tired. I know there was that whole thing with I think it was PUBG last week where they made the female avatars and they all had fucking camel toe. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like, and then they changed it and people got mad about that. I'm really, really tired of these games that like don't have any sexuality in them. Games about just fighting or like being last man standing, shoehorning sexuality into it when it doesn't need to be there. And it's always women. It's never men. It's always men. You don't see dudes running around with their packages outlined in PUBG, and you don't see like dudes getting groped in for honor.
Harder to
so
animate.
Like, right. But also everyone.
Is it? Because I thought women were harder to animate.
But like, it makes me, I just talking about
the dangle physics.
The dangle physics. That's the thank you, Brittany. I'm like, how do I put this?
I would love to sit down. Do you model in Maya or do any other kinds of animations? Can you please write into us and let us know? Because I would say that boob physics are much more difficult to get accurate than like dick
I don't know,
physics.
but
I don't know.
What do we call it? Dangle physics?
Boobs don't sway in the wind. Did you ever play
Have
Rise?
you seen the DOA volleyball game?
I feel like all of the boob physics I've seen though are wildly like incorrect.
They are.
That, like,
They're like sway in the wind.
A gust of wind
That
like
doesn't
taps
work.
the right boob and then it like ricochets and it goes like brrr, and, like hits her in the left
no.
side of the face.
Dominoes.
Spoiler alert, every animator out there, 95% of the women you encounter every day have those things strapped in. Get it together.
It's true.
Get it together.
I'm just waiting for them to add like an assless chaps, piece of clothing to PUBG.
Oh,
but it's always with like freaking women and people who are getting up in arms because like they wanted to see, they're mad because a 30-second boob grab thing got removed from a game. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
Just stop.
I don't know if those people understand the bigger picture here.
No, they don't.
Probably not. I certainly, think that it's 100% unnecessary. Like,
Makes me so mad.
Like I get like maybe the guy had a desire to grab them in the instant, but like maybe you should be more concerned about not dying.
I was about to say, if you're just impaled, I feel like the last thing you're worried about is boobs.
That game is about killing literally everyone before they kill you. Those games move fast. Like, if you're more concerned about getting a shot to like digitally grope a like character model, like who are you?
I'll have to
Leave
you're
the
dead. That's
leave,
what you are.
You're dead. One, you're a bad For Honor player. Why are you playing For Honor? You should be playing something else like DOA, volleyball. Two, like, get out of there. I hope I never get matched with you. I'm not carrying your ass.
I'll have to watch the animation again. Not that it makes it any better, but my understanding of the animation was that because he was being impaled, he fell forward and his hands so happened to fall on her breasts, just like you see in a bunch of films. Right? I feel like that was a gag joke people used to use back in the day. And
it totally 100% was.
Yeah, so I'll have to rewatch it because all of you ladies
I fell. Oops.
seem to think that it was like a purposeful, like, I'm dying, I need to grab titties before I die.
It's just the way his face, like, I mean.
Let me see if I can pull it up here. Hold on.
And the way he's like, oh, like, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't really care either way.
People are the worst.
The interesting part is always like, we don't know how this happened. I mean, you see this happening with a lot of companies. Like, someone slips and like something so stupid is released, and it's like,
the thing is, like, somebody's probably not I mean, it's all
the
a lack of
stopgaps,
processes,
right?
And
I get it. Like, the stopgaps have now been implemented, but it's like,
and it was probably like somebody who was like, oh, look. I mean, technically, it could have been somebody not on their spare time, but like, oh, I'm just gonna fuck around and like, oh, look at this thing I made.
Yeah, if some designer makes that emote in their spare time, like,
I mean, who's to say? You get drunk and you animate.
Then you just upload it without any like.
No,
Well,
I
that's the
would
part
say,
that's
like,
weird.
as
Is
somebody
that
who's
it made it to the game is the
Right.
strange part.
Yeah, I think the fact that the code was close enough to certification that it could accidentally end up is like the real troubling thing here, because we've seen this happen in a couple other cases where something accidentally sneaks in, or there's something buried in the code that they didn't take out before they went to cert. I think back to like Ellen Page's nude models that were in like Beyond Two Souls, right? Like the idea that like somebody found that buried inside the code. Like, how did that get in there? Or like some of these like hidden achievements that have really risque names. Like, how did those still make it in there? Like, why does this, the idea that I think the bigger question is one, like, where is the approval process and who's the person watchdogging the code, right, inside the studios? I think
Come on, Ubisoft, you have Watch Dogs.
Speaking of Watch Dogs, wasn't that an issue too, where they actually animated a vagina on one of the female NPCs?
Wait a minute, animated a vagina? What did it do?
Not animated.
Sorry.
What did it do?
Sorry. Modeled. They modeled it, and
Did
so
it shoot bullets?
Oh, that'd be
I don't know if it was
amazing.
Watch Dogs. It was an open world city-esque kind of game where a female NPC was killed, and when you look like change a camera
Upskirt or
angle,
something?
upskirted, there's an actual vagina that was like drawn onto this female.
Oh, no,
character.
not
I'm
an
literally
actual
Googling
vagina.
Watch Dogs vagina.
Can I just say, we have
I found a vagina on Watch Dogs 2 and Sony suspended me is the first thing that came up.
There you go.
We've had 2 news stories, and in both of them, it's just been lady parts.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
true.
Parts.
Except you guys were excited about it in one and not in the other.
No.
The vagina monsters are okay.
Because the
Monsters
vagina
are
monsters in
chasing
Catherine are, one, there for a reason, and there's no pretense. There's no pretense to it. It's like,
It
this
is
is
not
a game.
sexy whatsoever.
This is, but also
It's
like
horrifying.
Catherine is a game about sex. So like,
Totally.
I'm not
Whereas For Honor is
surprised
not. For Honor
or
is about murder.
right. I'm not surprised or taken aback that one of the monsters coming after you is a giant vagina with eyes. However, and like For Honor, like I don't need no titty groping while I'm trying to
about context
recapture
is what
the
you're
point.
saying.
It's about context, and you can't. And if you can't separate that, then like I don't know, like getting. If you want to die on the hill of oh no, I can't grab boobs in this fighting game that's about fighting and killing people. Cool. Good for you.
So this is probably what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So
Oh
like
my
an
God.
NPC fell down in Watch Dogs 2
And they're
and she's wearing a skirt commando,
Like you
Britney
do.
Spears style. And
No.
you can see her
All the
bits.
things.
too much air.
But to the point that you had earlier, Andrea, of like, well, how does this stuff happen? I mean, I think game development is just a messy process, and no one has quite figured it out. And so, like,
Yeah.
not somebody can like. There's, well, to my point,
Got all
it's
these
true.
vaginas
Even-
flying around.
No. Even something benign, for instance, Naughty Dog and their original Uncharted trailer, where it had concept art from Assassin's Creed in there.
Oh, I remember
and,
that.
and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
that was-
there are things
that was
slip
silly.
through the cracks, and it's not. And sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's of a weird sexual nature, and sometimes it's just somebody
It's a
fucked up and
boo-boo.
put a weird art thing in there.
I'm with you on like sometimes shit happens, and especially having recently talked to some devs at a studio about some controversial things that have happened. And I was like, how did you guys not talk to each other? And he's like, there's just so many people, can't always communicate all the time. And I was like, okay, I can maybe give you a pass. The thing that I'm having a tough time swallowing right now is like the idea that somebody intentionally made this animation. Somebody intentionally made the character grab her boobs.
Yep.
Because they thought it was funny or because they thought it was clever.
Or I thought it was like a
or-
slapstick joke.
Right. Or like somebody intentionally
funny.
animated this vagina on this NPC in Watch Dogs, and somebody intentionally
Again, haha,
Gave the
this is
PUBG
funny.
camel toe. Yeah.
so like things like that I'm like, okay, these clearly are decisions being made like with purpose. Now, do I want to make a sweeping generalization that these decisions were all made by men? I mean, probably I want
Yes,
to make
I
that
do.
sweeping
I do.
decision. Would they have been made? Would these decisions made it across the line if there was a female on the team that was maybe providing oversight? Probably not. But I don't know. I don't know for sure, ladies and gentlemen. But that thought may have crossed my mind, and I'm just going to share that with you.
No,
with
it crossed
you
mine
right
too, and that
now.
was the next point I was gonna make, and then you said it. Yeah.
It's tough because from our perspective, like I was sitting with Steimer last night, just going through a couple games, and I booted up Paragon because I was like, oh, I want to check out the new Winter Festival stuff that's happening. And there's a new character called Terra, and she's like this like giant lady tank, which the community in Paragon has been asking for months to have a female tank character. And she's big,
She
and
looks
she's
like
burly, and she does kind of look like the Valkyrie. She's kind of got this blonde hair. She kind of looks Viking-esque. She's wearing all of this armor. And then just because they could not fucking resist, she's almost head to toe armor, but the section right at her cleavage,
her décolletage,
is cut out so you can make sure to see her cleavage through her armor, and then it's covered with fishnet.
Yeah,
come
all the classy
on!
Vikings wear fishnet over their boobs.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like,
I know it's the face Alexa Ray is making is exactly how I feel.
Can't. I was so on board. So the thing that I love, the thing that I love about For Honor, and I remember many moons ago before it came out, talking to then creative director Jason Vanderberg about this, is they wanted to create a game that where you had men and women fighters and they were wearing realistic armor. He was like, it's not about looking good, it's about protecting your fucking body and whatever. So they had these really amazing armor designs, like these women in full armor. They had the samurai in full armor, and I was like, no other game has done this. This is really amazing and cool, and I feel great. And it made me want to play For Honor. So when I see these characters come out, and a lot of the, so when I see characters like that come out, and it's like this is great, and then there's that one fucking detail that's like, oh, but wait, we got to put a cleavage in or a butt jiggle or whatever. It's like, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, it's like you really didn't.
You
Like,
didn't.
That
That's
character
not
would have
cool.
still been really fucking kick ass without fishnet cleavage.
From women
It was
everywhere.
real
Like,
strange. I was like,
that's like their weak point.
And stylistically, it doesn't make sense. If
No,
you're wearing
why would
fucking
you have fishnet?
steel on your chest, you
you
wouldn't
can get killed. You can get stabbed through it. It's not going to
that's
help
like
you.
one of the main places you can get
That's
killed.
where you need it. That's where you need the armor.
It's
I'll
like
tell you
she's a boss
what.
fight,
What
weak point.
Paragon and Ubisoft and all you developers listening, develop me a fucking dude character that has like full armor except over his dick. I don't know. Throw me a bone. Show me an
Wrap it in
equivalent.
like a cotton
Do
sock.
it. Yeah, just put it in some fishnet. Put a bow on it. I don't care.
Nobody wants that.
but like, why? Like, it's very, very clearly unbalanced here.
Every company needs is this going to be okay position where it's like, whether you think it's like funny or not, what's the community going to think about this? And always run it through that. Is this going to be okay person? That should be a role every company should have.
If you're gonna expose our cleavages, give me some damn assless chaps. Yeah. I want an assless chap skin for every Overwatch character right now. Come on.
A lot of people would actually really like that.
Do it.
Yeah. Especially like McCree. Go ahead.
Assless chap everybody. But my point is, it's a total of one-way street.
But the assless chaps wouldn't be the equivalent, because if you get stabbed in the ass, you're probably gonna live. But
your
if you
butt
get
can survive a lot of damage.
That's it.
It's all
Somebody
muscle.
asked me. This is a weird question and a weird tangential story, but I'm going with it
Here
anyway.
we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Drinking obviously was involved in this, and someone asked me there was a small knife to cut things for the drinks, like the oranges or whatever. And there was like, if I had to stab you with this, where would you want to be stabbed? And I was like, and it took me a while. And someone was like, the leg. I'm like, no, there are arteries in the leg. You don't want that. Like, if you hit an artery,
there's lots of veins
in the
butt.
butt.
So eventually we decided in the butt, because there's not a lot of back there besides muscle and or fat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's very little risk of you bleeding out. So if you're ever going to get stabbed by a knife,
turn your butt.
Get your
Block
butt
with
the
your
light
butt.
of fire.
I'm so mad.
Well, I think we'll need a few moments to come down. We got a little heated there, but I think it's something that we need to talk about.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad that we brought it up. I'm happy that Ubisoft was quick to pull this on their own, and that people brought it up afterwards, just to be like, hey, don't forget, people are still making this stuff. So I'm glad they did take it down. That's all I have written down for the news. There was a couple other stories, like, surprise, Nintendo's working on another Zelda game.
Whoa.
We're all super shocked about that. That was
Zelda.
revealed in an
Zelda.
One of
article
their
this
core
week.
franchises is gonna
Is it a spin-off with just the Koroks? Because I'd really like that.
Alexa.
with all the poops.
No,
is
but
it gonna
that
be
would
called
be
Poop
awesome.
Simulator?
Prince Sidon.
There's
Sidon.
also news that PUBG hit 1 million players in
I
their
don't
first
care.
48 hours of launch on Xbox.
Go away.
But they're still having major problems
Good.
with the launch of that game. So we're not really going to talk about that. And there was some other stuff that was
it Switzerland that said loot boxes aren't
No,
gambling?
it was New Zealand.
New
New
Zealand.
Zealand has confirmed
Oh
that
my
loot
God.
boxes are not gambling. But we, like you, were kind of tired of the loot box
Over
news,
it.
so we decided to
Yeah.
skip it. So that being said, we're going to take a short break here, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some games we're playing, including the adult game of life. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. This episode of the What's Good Games podcast is brought to you by TakeThis.org. Take This AFK rooms are mental health first aid for conventions worldwide. And without the psychomancers, they'd just be empty space. Since 2014, Take This has been sending psychomancers to conventions worldwide trained in the art of mental health first aid. Psychomancers create safe, welcoming spaces for people dealing with mental health issues and can help guide people in distress to the help they need. Between training, insuring, flying, lodging, and feeding our psychomancers, Take This spends over tens of thousands of dollars a year to help thousands of people dealing with mental health issues at conventions all over the world. And the psychomancers need your help to keep flying. Visit the Take This Patreon at patreon.com/takethisorg to learn more about the Psychomancer Project and how you can help bring help, healing, and hope to people around the world. Become a sponsor of the Take This AFK rooms, staffed with psychomancers, stuffed with hope. Patreon.com/takethisorg. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the What's Good Games podcast. And as you know, we, of course, are brought to you by Take This, which you just heard about their Patreon page. But we're also, this month, brought to you by an anonymous sponsor. So this sponsor would like us to simply send the message that they know that What's Good Games helps people in the industry understand the important part that games media plays within our industry. And I think what he means by that is that we bring, hopefully thoughtful perspective and conversation and talk about issues in, a way that hopefully will stimulate conversation with you guys, with the people who are listening and who are watching.
What? We're just smiling at each other.
Wait, what's the smile
Alexa
about?
and I made eye contact and we just made weird faces at each other. That's all it was.
Okay, I got
Don't worry.
distracted.
And I was just drinking.
We were smiling and nodding along with your message and had a moment. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It was just so electrifying that it distracted her.
So we just want to give a big shout out and thank you. You know who you are.
Thanks,
and
man.
we appreciate your support and that you love what we do here at What's Good Games. And we couldn't be here without amazing sponsors like you. So,
You're a real MVP.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Also,
Yeah.
there was something else I was going to mention.
Are we in the oubliette?
Yep, indeed. Now I want to go watch The Labyrinth.
Yes, we should do it
Wait,
later.
what? What?
The oubliette's the place you put people to forget about it.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's like a hole in the ground.
It is a hole in the ground. It's a dark
Pretty
hole in
much.
the ground.
Okay, so on to the video games that we've been playing. Spoilers, not that many.
That's a
So
nice spread.
yeah, so Steimer, why
Yeah.
don't we start with you? So last week we barely touched on the fact that you have revisited Persona 5.
I have.
So this, of course, was the RPG of the Year winner at the Game Awards.
Yes.
What have you been thinking about your time with it? Have you been further enjoying it? Do you like it better? Do you like it worse?
I had a very nice rekindling with it. Because I played it obviously when it came out. I started playing it when it came out. And then I moved and life happened and I didn't want to play it on a monitor that was teeny tiny. I wanted it on my big beautiful television. So I waited and then fall happened. And then eventually I was like, I don't know, the other day I was just like, I've just had a hankering. I think it was because we kept singing the music.
I saw it coming.
And I was like, you know what? I just feel like having some kick-ass music and running around and beating the crap out of monsters. So I fired it back up and was like, yes, I am digging this game again. And it's just like, it's sort of comfort food for me, I suppose. And then I'm like, all right, okay, well, who should I spend my day with? And like, what are we going to do, guys? And
Yeah,
all
it's like
sorts
a
of fun
cathartic
things.
game, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So wait, did you finish it or not?
No.
Sorry.
No, I just started playing it again,
Okay.
and then I was debating who I wanted to waifu.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm
It's
still
Makoto,
thinking
right?
Makoto.
Yeah. Best girl.
But I'm technically far enough with the doctor that I could romance Le Doctor. But I do think I'm going to go with Makoto. The problem with Makoto is I think I need to raise one of my stats higher for her to even progress with her S-Link anymore,
Okay.
which is frustrating and
That is
annoying
frustrating.
for me.
That's weird that they would tie the S-Link to
They have
the
this,
set.
no, they do that. They do it with certain ones, and they
Yeah.
also do it.
Yeah,
for
but they don't do it
friggin',
consistently.
no, they don't. They did it for the girl with the headphones.
Futaba?
Yes, Futaba, and she's stuck at like level 2 for me because like I'm like just shit, I'm not charming enough to get to the next level with you.
I'm really curious to know what you think about toward the end of the game, because I feel like it just kind of like.
Do you think it overstays its welcome?
No, I don't like. Okay.
No, go
I
ahead.
feel like it rushes. It rushes the ending,
Okay.
and I feel like you miss out a lot of time. And I don't know how people max out every single S-Link in that game before the game is over.
You can't unless it's a second playthrough.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes so much sense. I've wondered about that ever since I finished it, like months and months ago. I'm
Yeah,
like,
there's no way.
I lose sleep over this.
That game
No,
is designed to be played multiple, because when you carry over a new game plus, you keep all of your star stats.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called.
Okay.
And so if you have your star fully maxed out, then the next time you play through, you can max out all the
Okay.
S-Links. But you usually have to follow a guide so that you're not messing up like
Every
the
day
days,
is
and you have
precious.
to maximize, and you have to maximize exactly what you say to them so that you get the right amount of points so that you can progress. And it's when I platinumed Persona 4 Golden, I had like 3 or 4 guides up at any given time, and it was like a job.
Dang.
Damn.
So it's safe to say that you are the farthest in Persona 5 than either of us, because I'm not.
You're not done?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm
I
not done
finished.
yet.
She finished.
You
I'm done.
finished.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
You're all farther than me.
I hear Andrea quiet over here. Do you think, because when I started playing P5, I found that it was not, I don't think, as accessible from the get-go as P4 was. If we wanted to hand Persona off to a newbie who definitely needs to play a Persona before they leave the planet, like this lovely lady over here.
Do I though?
Yes. They're fun. They're super fun.
do.
Do you
Okay.
think P5, and a lot of people have had this question too, do you think P5 is more series newbie friendly, or if it's a little more
I wish I would say Persona 4 actually is
I was
probably.
gonna say Persona 4 as well.
okay?
Because I also think that cast of characters is just so good in Persona 4.
Yes.
But
It's
the
not as
problem
dark.
is that the Persona 4 is on the Vita and
Yeah.
not on the PlayStation 4.
But I have a Vita.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, there you go. So you should play it while you're traveling, because
I just gave away your Vita. I could have kept yours.
you could have, but
We sent it
It's-
away. We wrapped it in Christmas
did.
wrapping. And
I
One
hope
lucky
whoever
patron.
gets it enjoys my Vita. It has a new life with you now. I've set it free.
I desperately wanted that crystal white Vita too when
Why
it
didn't
first
you
came
take
out.
it?
Well, because I have a Vita.
Okay.
I have the original OLED Vita.
That
so.
one, the white one is an OLED as well.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Dang it, Jim.
See? you were selfless, Andrea, and
It's going to a good home.
There you go.
It
You're
is.
selfless.
It
Be
is.
proud.
Yeah.
P4. Play P4.
I do think P4 is more accessible to somebody who's never played a Persona. I think Persona 5 is it expects you to kind of know what you're
to
doing.
know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. I still have Final Fantasy IX on my docket to play.
Girl, are you gonna play that though?
I kind of obligated
I-
it.
We gotta
told
chain her down,
told
tape her
Alex-
eyelids open.
I told Lex I would play, so
But,
Okay.
but
We're
gonna
I
play.
committed to that game before Persona.
No, that's fine. Final Fantasy IX is my favorite. Please go on and do that.
It's
for
really
me,
great.
I'm not really a Final Fantasy person, so I'm like, play Persona instead.
Final Fantasy IX is not as, I mean, it's got a really nice intricate plot, but it's not as cuckoo bananas as the series got after nine. Like, it's not Final Fantasy levels of what the hell is going on here. It's like, this happened because this happened, and you have all the information that you need.
she's blowing.
So,
She's like,
I'm trying to diffuse.
What's
Like, trying to
happening
diffuse.
over here?
I accidentally burped under my breath, like
and
I
then
do
she was
sometimes.
blowing it toward me.
No, I'm trying to diffuse
Girlfriend.
the air.
I'm glad you sacrificed me and not Alexa over that. By the way,
That's because you have to deal with my smells.
choose your words wisely.
It's true. Okay, speaking of Alexa,
hi.
you finished the Champions Ballad, the DLC for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which came out last week.
I
last
did.
Friday. Thoughts?
So after the emotional devastation of episode Ignis, I was looking for something a little more upbeat.
Right? You wanted to cook some new recipes?
Cook some new recipes, fight some new things. So here's my biggest takeaway from the Champions Ballad. So this was billed, if for people who are not familiar with it, is the second DLC pack for Breath of the Wild. And the first DLC pack was kind of billed as like, here's some extra stuff for you. Like, you can now track everywhere you've been in the world by looking at your map. And we've added a bunch of new like Master Sword quests.
Wait,
you
do
can
you
power
have
up
to pay
your
for
Master
that?
Sword. Yeah, it's part of the season pass. There's 2 giant packs.
How much was the first one?
You can, for $20, you get both.
Okay.
And there's a lot. There was a lot in the first DLC pack.
But you're making it sound like it was just quality of life fixes.
Kind of, but it was also ways to like, if you hadn't beat the game already, you could make your Master Sword more powerful by completing a trial. You could get a lot of better armor. It would basically help you get through some of the tougher challenges. And they set it up. So they set it up as like, this is a great DLC of quality of life stuff.
I don't know that I like this.
But
And the next
but
one.
the Champions Ballad, which will come out later this year, will add more story.
And gives you a motherfucking motorcycle.
And Breath of the Wild, well, getting that motorcycle is a pain in the ass. So Breath of the Wild to me had the Final Fantasy 15 problem of here are all these story points and all of these character relationships, and we're not gonna go into any of them in any of the interesting ones in too great details. Final Fantasy 15 left its villain and a bunch of secondary characters in the dust. Breath of the Wild literally built on the concept of there were these four new characters that basically like sacrificed their lives to make sure that Link and Zelda could escape, so Link could revive and whatever. And these 4 characters, you know very little about them. You get like one flashback cutscene in the game, and then you like talk to their spirit in the Divine Beast. I'm not spoiling this for anyone, I hope. And that's it. And like you learn very, very small things. Like you learn that like Mipha was in love with Link and built the Zora armor for him because she wanted to ask him to be her husband. And Rivali is a dick and my least favorite character in that entire game. And Urbosa was like this really strong, like aloof, like warrior who had a soft spot for Zelda, and something with the Goron guy. They didn't flesh him out correctly at all. So this was billed as a story edition. And I was like, great. There's so much missing here. I want to learn about Zelda's relationship with her father. I want all of this story stuff.
Question.
Yes.
As somebody who has very limited Zelda experience, having only finished A Link Between Worlds, I assumed that these were all characters that were previously introduced in the Legend of Zelda canon.
Nope.
That I just didn't know.
They're new.
So they're all new.
All new.
And so
they're
the
all new.
races-
They are 4. The races that they are.
established.
Yeah, the races are established, like the Zora and the Rito, like
Goron.
and the Gorons. They've all been around.
Okay.
And the Gerudo, my
But
favorite.
these heroes have not.
These heroes are new. They are new characters for Breath of the Wild. And we didn't get as much time with them as I thought we would, and we learned very little. So the story DLC, I was like, great story DLC. I am so damn disappointed in this DLC because while it does give you like a bunch of new trials and stuff, like you get maybe like a 2-minute cutscene for each of them and then like chat with them a little bit more and that's it. And I'm just like, wow, like it's really, really, really disappointing. Like they want us to go in on these characters and buy the amiibo and like all this stuff. And there's just no emotional backing. And they built it as story based. And this is what it is. There are 4. So you go back to the shrine where you woke up and you get a weapon called the one-hit obliterator. And
I like it. Let's
Sounds
go
cool.
on.
And you have a challenge where you have to clear 4 areas in a small area. You have to clear 4 enemy camps with this one-hit obliterator. However,
Does it break?
no. If you can kill something in one hit, but you can also be killed in one hit.
Oh.
So you have to
Always
like
a catch.
right. So you have to
Always
use
be
like
dodging.
yeah. Well, you have to use like you can use your bombs, your arrows. You can like implement a nice strategy to do it. So I did that, and I was like, okay, that's great. And then 4 points open up on the map. 4 new shrines open up, and are like these are for each champion, and it's literally each quest line is a to-do list of go here, see the thing, fight the thing, complete a time trial in the environment, like beat a creature, and then you do a really obscenely difficult shrine puzzle, which I think are actually really well done. I'm just stupid and take a long time to catch on. The shrine puzzles are the best shrine puzzles in the game. Like the puzzles they've added in this are fantastic.
Like,
But
would you say they equate to the level of difficulty of, say, the Divine Beasts?
maybe, but they're still smaller. There's still
Okay.
those small little shrines, but you have to. They give you everything you need to solve it. But there's like 10 different ways to solve it.
Okay.
They give you so much that
It's like every shrine, though. You can always solve those in different ways.
right. But these shrines give you.
Yeah.
These shrines give you so much.
I did not know
Different,
that.
like,
I did
different
not know that either,
I mean, like,
Steimer.
sorry. I mean, like, different mechanics. Like, you there's not, like, just one way you can, like, solve it. Like, you might use, like, the magnet thing. Sorry, it's been months since I played Zelda to do it. And I might, like, use the stasis thing instead.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But these shrines give you
Really? Because I feel
Yeah.
like they were pretty specific. At least the ones I were. in
the
were-
opening
You can
ones
get
are really
creative.
specific, but they get harder the more difficult the shrines are to find.
I think I'm at like shrine 60, maybe.
I don't even remember. It's been a long
Maybe
time
less
since I
than
fired
that.
up Zelda.
I still have a lot of shrines to go.
Yeah. How many shrines are there?
100 and something.
127, I think.
Jesus.
And now there's a couple more. But yeah, these puzzles are great. I like them. But the laundry list that you have to do, and then you have to fight the divine beast boss of the particular champion one more time.
Wait, what?
Yes,
Really?
Yeah, with a slight. They maybe have a little bit more health and they move a little bit faster.
That's it.
It's a little tweak, and then you get like a 2-minute cutscene. And like some of these cutscenes are cute. Like Mifa's cutscene has baby Prince Sidon in it, and it's fucking adorable. But the other ones, I'm just like, this is
so
all we
damn
get.
Frustrating.
It's all we get. I thought like the way that Nintendo painted this DLC, there were all these rumblings about like the way that it seemed like it was going to be Hyrule pre-Calamity Ganon, because it was talking about the champions that fell 100 years ago and how they were 100 years ago. So people were thinking like, oh, the map's going to change. You're going to go back and you're going to do this narrative DLC and it's going to be different. Nothing changes. You're just doing time trials and doing a flashback, and it makes no sense because the narrative reason you're doing it is, oh, you're doing the same trials that these champions had to complete in order to become champions. And I'm like, this is really fucking lame. And I am so disappointed.
It is disappointing because I feel like even when they were marketing the game at the beginning, they threw in some of those heavy hitter cutscenes between Link and Zelda, which are, ultimately flashbacks that you learn. And so when I went into Zelda, I expected like a lot of story, a lot of character, development, get to know like these four awesome, interesting races that we followed since we've been playing Zelda, and now we finally get these fully fleshed out characters, or so we thought.
No.
And that's not it at all. And then here's the story DLC coming, and no.
Well, the thing about those cutscenes that you mentioned, those cutscenes are from the memories that
Right.
are optional to collect. You can
Right.
complete the game without collecting anything. You can wake up and be like, fuck it, I'm going to go fight Ganon now, and go and do it. It'll be hard, but you can do it.
Yeah, I did that accidentally. And I'm
It's-
like, is this it?
There's no that game is big and it's beautiful and it gives you a lot to do. But I realized as I finished this DLC, the final boss, by the way, is very surprising and very good. And then you get the freaking Master Cycle 0. But I don't have any more shit to do, so where am I going to take my Master Cycle 0?
Just ride around.
Just ride
girl.
around Hyrule.
So this
I don't
is-
know.
pick up
So
some
it's like
chicks.
it's everything. The DLC is everything that the original game did well. Puzzles, like challenges, like making you think, like giving you like a space to play in and make yourself feel smart and whatnot. But the story DLC, the main game, and I realized it as I completed this DLC, the main game, I was like, oh, the narrative is really watery. No, that narrative has no through line and gives you so little incentive to seek it out and find it. There is no story in this game, and this DLC made me be like, this game is beautiful and I love it, and I'll probably go in and complete a couple more shrines or whatever. But I'm so damn disappointed because stuff like my favorite Zelda game ever is the Wind Waker, and that story is like that story it pulls you through it. And I think by making Zelda open world, they forgot to give you need to give players an incentive and a reason to follow your story. You can't just give them an open game and say you can go kill all the final bosses if you want and don't do any story. And I understand maybe they did that for players that don't care about story. They just want to solve dungeon puzzles. But then there's nothing connecting it.
That's
Yeah,
why
so-
I've kind of put it down and haven't really picked it back up.
But and I think
I'm
this
so
has been
bummed.
this has been a common thread that we've seen, and we hear you guys. A lot of you have reached out to us in comments on Facebook posts and things saying, I don't know why you guys hate Zelda so much, and like, which is categorically false. There's nobody in this room right now that hates Zelda. Nobody.
No, I love it and I want it to be better.
Right, and that's why you're so passionate about your critique of it, because if you didn't care about Zelda, we wouldn't be talking about it this long, right? And like, I think the point is that there seems to be two schools of thought when people play Zelda. One is, I love just exploring and being in the world and talking to random people and going to see what's on that mountain, or pulling out the magnet and seeing what's in that body of water, right? Like, just the kind of open world like discovery seems to really be enough for one group of people to be like, that's all I need in this game. And then the other group, it seems to be like where we're in, to be like, cool, that's all right, but the open world isn't engaging enough for that to be good enough for me. I need something. Either the combat needs to be more engaging, the storylines need to be better, the puzzle solving needs to be more intricate, or maybe all of the above, in order for me to want to keep playing this game in a year where there's just so many other amazing games that I could be spending time with.
The thing about Zelda games is like the gimmick has always been tied to the narrative. Think of Majora's Mask. You put on the mask, you become a thing. It's creepy or winding time, whatever. Think of Ocarina of Time. You have the time rewinding. Think of Wind Waker. It's the man who turned into a boat because he could. Like, it's
I would love to be a boat.
Right, but it's all together. And this gimmick was, if you want to distill it down to it, it's an open world. You can craft, you can do whatever you want. It's a sandbox. It's a survival game. It's Don't Starve or whatever. Don't Starve Zelda. Yeah. And there was no, like, I don't know how that tied into the story at all.
Yeah.
No.
This was weird. I would be curious to go back and play an older Zelda, because this is the first Zelda I've ever played.
Oh God. Go back and play Ocarina of Time.
Girl.
Play Ocarina of Time first.
Nintendo give me Virtual Console on my Switch first so that I can play it on my Switch.
It's on 3DS. It's on 3DS.
I don't have a 3DS.
Get
You
one.
can borrow my 3DS and Ocarina of Time. I'll send it back with you. No excuses now, Steimer.
Yeah.
I have a really cute Yoshi 3DS XL.
I have the Fire
I have a
Emblem
lot of
one.
feelings about Zelda. Unfortunately, I'm kind of slow right now because like of this situation I have going on inside my body.
Jesus.
Whoa. But that's like one of the main things like we love Zelda. I love Zelda clearly. If clearly.
You have like 90% of your wardrobe is Zelda related things.
Let me ask you this, Brittany. When you think of your favorite like moment thing in like all of Zelda ever, what is it? Gut reaction.
Oh God!
From your favorite game.
I love the time passing in Ocarina of Time. How you become small Link when you're 11, you pull it out 7 years past you're 18. Now you're adult Link, and all of Hyrule has gone to shit.
See, that's a game mechanic tied to the goddamn story.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like those are the things that people remember, and it's like
this is what I ask people. If Breath of the Wild was not a Zelda game, if it was just like a game that was like just came out brand new IP from some studio, whatever, would it be getting the praise that it is currently receiving? Now I think it does some things really well, like the puzzle solving. I think the open world is done really well, but the story, the character, these characters are also throwaway. Even like these main like points of plot, who gives a shit? It's like, hello, random person I met at a stable. That's cool. Have a good life. I don't care about you anymore. Like, it's so sad.
Do you normally care about NPCs in Zelda games?
Yeah.
Some of them.
Okay.
Some of them are pretty iconic, right? They
Beetle.
keep reappearing in
Beetle's
other Zelda
around
games.
in Zelda now, and I'm like, you're kind of annoying.
Yeah.
You're always meeting new Gorons and new Zora, and like the Zora evolve.
And that's
like,
because when they were marketing this game, they were like showing an emphasis on story, and they showed some real emotional moments. I mean, holy crap, we're going to get the super story driven like Zelda thing that I've wanted for so long on like the Switch where it can handle it. I hope they put a lot of like time and effort into narrative, especially when it comes to the races, because the Zora, the Goron, the Gerudo, like all of them are like, yay. But now, we haven't learned really anything about them, maybe a little bit more about their culture, but the opportunity to get to know like a really fully fleshed out character of that race is like, it was shit on, and it's like, why?
Yeah, I have so many questions, and also it seems like everyone in that game except for like 3 people all live longer than 100 years, because they're all like, hey, you remember me? I saw you 100 years ago. And it's like, well, where's the explanation for this?
Right.
I feel like they couldn't. I feel like I'm sorry.
That's actually a good point. I was like, wait, yeah, you're right.
love Zelda games, but like I feel like they were a little sloppy with this narrative. Like it feels sloppy to me. I do narrative consulting. It's like a thing I do, and like I just feel like this it was just like they didn't, it's like they didn't think about it, and they were just like, oh, like whatever, we're not going to explain it, it's fine, it'll throw away, like fans will get it, you know, it's whatever. And I'm like, you can't just get away
with that because you're Nintendo and this is Zelda.
You can't just do it because it's Zelda, and you can't market a damn thing called the Champions Ballad promising all of this new information, and then you give me less than 20 minutes of cutscenes and then like 5 minutes of like extra audio. Like, that's not cool. And we've had the same conversation about like Mario, about how like Mario Odyssey is wonderful and lovely and super joy inducing, but it's also a Mario game. And if it was any other game without this IP, would people be praising it the way it is?
No, it would be like ukulele.
Right. It's great.
You know, or
okay, it's better than ukulele.
yes, it's mechanically it is definitively better, of course.
It's a great game.
But like, it was the first platformer that's cartoony that came to my mind.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, here's the thing. I want to transition into Super Mario Odyssey since you brought it up, because
Go for it.
I've been playing this because I've been traveling over the last couple of weekends, and I've been playing a lot more of it because I didn't get a chance to. We have Cappy here in the studio.
Sorry, Cappy.
Look at
And I've been enjoying my time with it. I've been collecting my coins and buying my different outfits and visiting, you know, the local shops and collecting power moons, right? So it's the thing that I keep coming back to in that game is mechanically it's pretty like perfectly executed from a production standpoint, right? Like everything works, right?
Yep.
That's one of the joys of Nintendo games, and that they should deserve and should and get praise for, is that they put polish at the top of their list of things that they want to get right. And it is a wonderfully polished game. I do not recall in my life ever playing a broken Mario game that had any bit of jank or bugs or glitches, like really at all. And I think that that's worth noting and pointing out as something that's incredibly difficult to do.
Well, especially with Zelda, which was an open world game, and those are typically have
Yes.
some level of bugs in them.
100%. So I've been going through and playing, and I'm right now I'm about to pass through the end of the Luncheon Kingdom. And I went through New Donk City after like hearing everybody go talk about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was pretty cool, and
It was cool.
yeah, and there's very clearly things that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to come back to this later in the game once I understand a mechanic that's going to be revealed to me later. I like the kind of illusion there, the foreshadowing of like you're gonna need to come back and replay this to like find like the other secret areas and things like that. And I think the problem I have is that they keep using some of these same narrative tropes that, you know, some of the traps that I think Zelda is clearly falling into, of like the boss fights were 100% predictable. I probably could have fought those boss fights with my eyes closed. They were so predictable. And this idea of the brutals, somebody who...
You're really hung up on these brutals.
It was Alexa telling you that they're the wedding planners.
I
the
hate
wedding
them.
planners.
They're the worst. Like, they seem like such a waste. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cutesy that like, oh, in each kingdom you're going after a different item that's going to end up at the wedding of Peach and Bowser, right? Like this idea of like, oh, we gotta get the sparkling water over here and the frozen cake over here and the fancy dress over here and the flowers from this kingdom. Like, okay, I kind of get it. They've tied it together like very loosely, but like, who are these people? Where did they come from? Where do they fit into like the overall Mario narrative?
Planning planet of weird rabbits.
You haven't gotten to the end. I don't want to spoil the end.
No, don't spoil it. But like, I hate though that they make an appearance, that they're weird, that they're on this random ship, and then like I can beat them in like sub 60 seconds.
Well, here's my question, compounding on your idea of these throwaway characters are super weird. Where are the hell are Bowser's children? Where's Bowser Jr.? Where are the Koopa kids?
They're protesting this wedding. They don't
Koopa
want anything to do with it.
Koopa kid has been
They
dead
don't want
for
a
years.
new mom. They don't want a new mom.
Koopa Kid?
Remember,
where's Lenny?
They retired Koopa Kid. There was one Koopa Kid,
Koopa Jr., right?
and Nintendo says he's retired. I think he died. No one's talking about it.
It is weird to me that after this is the one like narrative choice that they're taking with Odyssey. Obviously, you know, when they first revealed this game, it was all about New Donk City and like the human element of it. And like, also it's weird that Pauline is animated differently,
and everyone is a real human
that around her, but she's like Mayor Pauline, and she looks different. She looks cartoony, and everyone else is like, where are these weird humans?
Person.
Yeah,
and they talk like this.
It's like being led by a Muppet.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And like, why are her posters all over the city?
Because she's also a
she's
singer.
using her mayoral power to take over.
To
I
promote
love
her own
Steimer
image.
has an answer for everything. No,
It'd
they're
be
great.
like if Lucius Lyon was running New Donk City. He would
She's-
put his photos everywhere.
Well, she's like the Arnold.
Deep Cuts Empire joke.
She is to New Dunk City is like Arnold Schwarzenegger was to California, because she's Pauline from the Donkey Kong game, so she's famous. So it's like, I run the
come
city
on.
now. So
I
here are
was-
my posters.
I've been a California resident. I was here all through Arnold Schwarzenegger's reign. He did not put up posters of himself everywhere.
It would have been
No, I
hilarious
mean like, but
if he
she is
did.
celebrity. Is what I meant.
imagine?
I would have
She
been
is
on board with it
celebrity.
because I'm a giant
like,
Schwarzenegger
that's
fan.
cool, man.
But
Look, we're arguing about a game.
He is
where,
all over Venice, but that's because that's what you're used to bodybuild.
We're arguing about a game where Mario's shambling corpse goes around. Goes around like taking over, body snatching people.
You know what?
Yeah.
When I die, I want Cappy
You
on
want
my head.
to animate you?
No, I want Cappy on my head in the casket.
Why?
That would be
can
really
we use
sad.
this video to show to your parents to be like, listen,
Look
we
at
know
the
it's
camera.
a weird request.
Dear
but we
Mom
have
and
video
Dad.
of her.
If I have passed and you are still alive, please put this dumb hat on my head.
No.
Do you want the hat on top of the hat? The Santa hat?
No, just the right, just
just-
Cappy.
just the
Okay.
Cappy
the
hat.
Cappy. And then I want to be cremated with it.
No.
Wow, this got dark.
All right, moving on.
Whatever you want, milady. So I'm going to obviously finish the game. I don't know how much time I'm going to spend going back to get the power moons. The ones I've gotten so far, and I've gotten quite a few. And like I'll spend extra time in the world looking for moons before I go like fight the boss, which is the same 3 waves of boss fights that Mario's done for every Mario for now until the end of time. But I'm really having trouble understanding why people are so enraptured by this game. Are any of the 3 of you one of those people, or do I need to seek outside counsel?
I wouldn't say I'm enraptured by it. I love it because I don't have to think about it.
That's true.
It's pretty to look at, and it's like comfort food.
the
it's
music
like,
is nice and charming. Yeah.
right, but it's like it's meatloaf and mashed potatoes, and Horizon is like a fucking 5-course dinner at the French Laundry. Like it's a comfort thing.
That is a great analogy.
That was
Yeah,
fantastic.
no, it's a new thing, but it's not new, and I like it because, again, like, I don't have to invest so much of my brain into it. I can just play it, and it's like soothing, and it's calming, and it's familiar. I don't think it's like,
But because it
Yeah.
is familiar to me, like
You can
it's
turn
nice,
that off, by the way.
but it's not. Yeah, it doesn't bring me like an overwhelming sense of joy. It's just like, oh, this is nice.
yeah, it's nice. This is nice, and I like it.
And
And I
like, this
will-
is the most
yeah.
magical, mystical, wonderful, amazing thing of all time.
I'm not emotionally moved by it. Maybe a little perturbed by some things that happened in that game, but I'm not like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever.
No, it's delightful, but it's not like I'm not champing at the bit to go back.
Damn
But
it.
I am going to like that's my travel game, and I'm saving it specifically for airports mostly.
yeah. Britt, you were saying.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I can't play it for more than maybe 45 minutes at a time. And then I'm like, okay, I know where this is going. Like, I like getting to the new world and seeing how cute and, like, animated it is and how bright and colorful and cute. But then I'm like, all right, I'm done getting moons for tonight. And then I set it down. I don't pick it up for a couple weeks, which is strange because I've never had this with Mario games before. But I think I'm just, with all
Do you
these...
normally just like play them through?
Oh, yeah, usually that'll be my game. I'll, sink in a few hours every night. But after about 45 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is fun. This is cute. And now I'm going to go play something else. I feel like because there are so many games on my backlog that are different, like Human Fall Flat, super silly game, or Horizon, or any of these other games that I can kind of just like, I'm more interested to experience those than Mario. Because I think I'm just over the formula of it. I don't know. It's not really comfort food to me. It's more of like it feels more like a chore. Not saying it's a bad game.
it feels like broccoli you have to eat because it's good for you.
Yeah. That's good.
Mario
Broccoli's
is broccoli.
delicious.
I know. I love
can't have
broccoli.
broccoli. Too
Only
much
covered
fiber.
in cheese
Okay.
sauce.
But like sometimes I still don't want to eat it, even though it tastes good. Sometimes I'm like, where is the bread and the butter? That's really all I want.
Where are
I
my
will always
donuts?
eat the broccoli.
Yeah.
Broccoli's great.
Okay, this analogy has got off the rails just a
Food.
little bit.
Food.
There's one more game that I would like to mention. We're not going to talk about Life is Strange episode 3 here. It's fresh. It's brand new. We, of course, will be doing a full spoiler cast when we're back in January, so you guys have a couple of weeks to play through it. But I do want to talk briefly about. So I have been still playing Curse of Osiris. And
Any updates?
there's been yet another apology and fix from Bungie.
No.
Lasai.
And like I was talking to Steimer about this, so I was running around the game last night. So they've reintroduced the 3 of Coins from Zur, who is like an exotic wares merchant who shows up on the weekends, this creepy guy with his Cthulhu face. And he's an agent of the 9, and he shows up and he sells fancy things for lots of money that you have to earn in game. Like you can't buy your way into stuff from Zur. And so I was like, cool. I always go and check out what Zur has every week. Sometimes he's got good stuff, sometimes he doesn't. I was like, oh, 3 of Coins are back. So the 3 of Coins is an item that allows you to have an increased chance of organically earning an exotic engram in the world. The exotics being like the highest level gear that you can get in Destiny. So what it does is you use this consumable, and for 4 hours, all of the other drops you get in the world have a higher percentage chance of dropping better gear.
You are basically buying prayer candles for RNGesus.
That's exactly what it is.
Wow.
That was
Yes,
so
you're
good.
doing a rain dance, whatever religious anecdote you would like to apply in this case, but prayer candles for RNGesus is perfect. And so in Destiny, these were really popular because you could buy them for, a reasonable amount of in-game currency. You use strange coins, which are no longer a currency item in Destiny 2. But they would cost, I think, 7 strange coins. And like an exotic gun would be like 20 to 30 strange coins. The numbers are rough here, but close. So like for proportion, that's about what it would cost. So now to get an exotic piece of gear, it's around 25 shards.
Yeah, that was about right.
Legendary shards, I believe, which you get by breaking down other pieces of gear. And then the strange coins are now 31 shards. So
according to your Twitter feed, they are broken.
Yeah, so not only are they more expensive than buying the exotic gear itself, you're literally just buying the prayer candle. You're buying the chance to maybe earn exotic gear, not a guaranteed piece. It's more expensive than actually buying the piece of exotic gear itself. They launched the 3 of Coins and it's broken, meaning lots of people bought these and then they tested them out because they're like, oh yes, well, I know this item from a regular Destiny. This is cool. Because it would work where I would say 8 to 10 tries, every 8 to 10 coins that you would use in regular Destiny, you would get an exotic. Maybe even less than that, depending on how good you were about farming. But now it's like people are like, oh, well, in all of these different activities, the farming doesn't work. It only works in like this one type of activity. And I had to put out this like collective sigh to be like, I don't understand how it is so broken. Why would you keep releasing things that aren't fucking done, that are half-baked, that aren't finished being built, that aren't play tested,
that aren't balanced economically?
And I think I might have hit the wall. I think I might be to the place where I can no longer make
Join me on the ground.
excuses.
Join us playing Persona. Come to the dark side.
Can no longer make excuses. I think I might have to step away for a while until they get their shit together.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating because like it's almost exactly what happened in vanilla Destiny. They released the Dark Below. It was crap. A lot of people thought it was crap. I'm
laughing at so last night I watched you play. Sorry, you finish your thing. I'll come back.
I think I might just have to what I did there is I stepped away for like 3 to 4 months until House of Wolves came out. So Dark Below came out in December after their September launch. House of Wolves didn't come out until May. So like a solid 4 months after that I like stepped away from Destiny. I think I might have to step away for a while until they get their act together. The thing that makes me angry about this, like Alexa was angry about the Champions Ballad letting her down and not being as good as she wanted it to be.
You hurt me.
Was that I love this franchise, and I have been such a big part of the community, and I've met friends through this game, and I love playing with the What's Good Guardians. And there's still people in the What's Good Guardians 2 whose names I just got your PSN names that I want to play with. But like, I can't keep giving them passes, right? Like, and also you've been working on this game for so many years, and you saw the mistakes you made in the first game. How are you still fucking it up? Are you just getting lazy? Like, Bungie, what's going on over there, man?
Well, this is so when I was watching Andrea play a mission last night, and it was from
Curse of Osiris. Yeah, it was a meditation. She was watching me play one of Ikore's meditations on a mission from the DLC.
I don't know what any of those mean.
Just smile and nod,
it's
Alexa.
basically you're
Smile and
replaying
nod.
a chunk of a
Replay
level.
mission, yeah.
And so she's playing through it, and I was like, and it's like, oh, it's the pseudo Vex, whatever the hell they want to call them.
The Descendants.
The Descendants, which is the Vex, but as you said, with more rounded edges and slightly more brown.
Yeah.
And so
Brown.
I was like, they're just gross looking. I don't know.
It's the same enemy. Yeah.
And
The
yeah.
hitbox is in the same spot.
But one of the dialogue things that the ghost says was, we haven't seen these since the Dark Below. And I was like, oh, so you mean since the last time you did this?
Since the Vault of Glass, technically.
Oh,
is
sorry,
what he
Vault
said.
of Glass, but I couldn't remember. But yeah. And I was just like, this dumb. It's dumb.
Yeah, I've stepped away. I have to. This is like what I said, I think, last week. Like, I jumped into Destiny when it first released, had a good time, but I was like, it's kind of flawed. I'm going to step away. Stepped away, went back into it, had a good time with it. But it's kind of like you said, sounds like that's happening now. So there's many more other things I could play with my life, like Horizon.
Yes.
You better get your ass on Horizon.
Keep playing that game.
No, it's too bad. And it is, to quote DBZ yet again, mind-boggling. How
Yeah.
do you make the same mistakes again and again? Like, what's going on behind
It's
the
like
scenes?
they all got amnesia.
Yeah.
I don't think they got amnesia. I think what's happening is that their sales numbers made them a little cocky. I think that they had a fantastic launch, and a lot of people came back to Destiny that left it and were really excited about it, and it was fun at
Because they were
launch.
building that up. They're, Destiny 2, did you notice the big fucking 2? And they actually said that verbatim almost.
No,
And-
that's what Luke Smith said on stage.
And I was like,
yeah.
where's your extra class? Where's
the new enemies.
the new enemy? Where's
Yeah, and I don't necessarily need to rehash all the criticisms that I have made and we have made on the show for what Destiny 2 has been lacking. I think the reason I'm upset is because I thought, okay, the DLC is a good time for them to show how they've improved it, how they've kind of heard what the community has said about it, to bring some meaningful content, because once again, we still are content light. Is there more content? Unequivocally, yes. There's definitely more content and more things to play in Destiny 2 than there was in Destiny, without a doubt. However,
They've been doing really stupid things, like the when they gated the endgame content or something.
they
So-
closed off stuff that for people who purchased.
trophies that were gated from DLC.
Yeah.
They released this weapon that was unbalanced, and then they said they had to nerf it.
Can you really, like, that doesn't seem like greed to me. That just seems like
It just seems like a cluster. Like there
stupid
must be just
decisions.
like people running around with their heads like chickens with their head
They
cut
need
off.
the
like,
is
just
this okay
chaos.
person that I talked about
Yeah.
earlier.
Yes, yes, they do,
Yeah,
Brittany.
they need it. Is this going to be okay?
A quality
Is
person.
this the
that's
right
called a
call?
consultant.
It's gonna be
I
okay.
do that.
You know what?
Bungie,
you would
if you wanna
think
call
that
me.
someone like Deej would be that person for them, right? Like, he's in the community all the time. He hears these complaints. He plays the game. He knows what people want and what they don't want. I don't know if he has the power to actually like make an influence or make a difference when some of these decisions are made. You know, like Bungie is this big studio, and perhaps like what's happening is that they're just not communicating with each other, and that's really tragic, because I wanted to see this game like soar. I wanted to see them have a fantastic year, to right all of their missteps, and to really come out swinging and say, you're gonna love this game because the shared world shooter, the community aspects, the gunplay, everything is great, and we're not gonna fuck it up this time. And they keep fucking it up. Stop fucking it up, Bungie.
This may be
Wow.
the last time we hear Andrea talk about Destiny 2 on the
It's definitely
podcast.
not gonna be the last
For a
time.
little while.
But,
Maybe until
you know,
the next
man,
DLC.
Like a week.
But I'm saying there's a lot of other things to play on my plate, and I'm looking forward to taking a break and getting back to some games that I haven't spent enough time with and I haven't finished, and to playing some new stuff. And so hopefully when we're back in the new year with our next hands-on segment, because next week's show is going to be all about our awards, that I have some cool new stuff to talk about. So
Yep.
anyway, that's going to be the end of that.
Can I just want to real quick. I just want to humble brag.
Yes, go
that
for it.
I beat Donkey Kong Country
Oh,
over the
yes.
weekend. And it's been like 20 plus years since I last beat that game.
Wow.
But I
That game's tough.
did it.
Did
And
that
it is-
ending fool you again?
It did. And I angry tweeted, and actually Rare responded to me like the other day.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It was pretty fun. They just responded to a bunch of my things with GIFs that were pretty well chosen, I have to say. And so literally I'm there. I'm like, oh, I beat the game. I of course do the thing where I pull out my phone. I'm gonna take a picture.
Yep.
And
Not
then the guy gets up and kills me, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about this shit.
That was so. No, King K. Rool does not fuck around. King K.
No.
Rool. Well, shit, yeah.
And
Beat your
Good
ass.
shit. They don't make them like they used to
No.
anymore.
I think it took me 20 plus, like probably close to 30 tries to beat the last boss, but I did it.
That
And
ending's
now
really
I can
emotional
say
too.
that I am the Donkey
It's a very
Kong
emotional
queen.
ending.
With the music and everyone's like walking by and you get the name of all the enemies. Oh, I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yep. It was real good.
And that music is so good too.
Those
Okay.
were the days.
Those
Those
were
were
the
the
days.
fucking days.
Oh, everything was much simpler then.
Yeah,
Yep.
including programming.
It's true. Ladies and gentlemen,
Bye.
thanks for sticking with us through our hands-on segment and our rants. We have a very interesting discussion coming up in the third segment. We're going to talk about what we're looking forward to, what excites us, what blows our skirts up coming in 2018.
Ooh.
So stick with us for our most anticipated discussion right after the break. Welcome back, everybody. Britt, I love that shirt. It's great. It is the Uniqlo I Am Legend Zelda shirt.
The first time I saw it, you were wearing it.
Yes.
And
Then
like
I bought
literally.
it, and you bought it.
No, actually, yeah. Like the day after I saw Andrea wear it, I was gifted it. And I was
Aw.
like, look at
Am I
that.
the only one without this shirt?
Probably.
Maybe.
Sorry, squeaky Mike.
Sorry, Steimer.
I have the Boo shirt. Big fan of the Boo shirt.
I have none of the Uniqlo Nintendo shirts because I went to Uniqlo too late, and then they only had the ones I did not want. I wanted the Boo shirt real bad.
I love it.
Yeah, that one sold out really fast. You might still be able to find it on eBay.
For a bajillion $1,000,000.
I'm not into that.
$1 million.
I pay face value only.
Okay.
Steimer.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about the future. 2018 is almost here. So there's a lot of amazing games coming out. At the Game Awards, people voted The Last of Us Part 2 as the most anticipated game, but I would say that game's probably a 2019 game.
Yeah.
Probably.
So we're going to talk about some games that we're excited for that are confirmed. So just for some refreshers of some big titles that are going to be coming that are confirmed for 2018. There's Fire Emblem for the Nintendo Switch. There is MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. There is Psychonauts 2. There are Far Cry 5 is confirmed. We've got Red Dead Redemption.
Dad of War.
Spider-Man. Yes, Dad of War. Let me get another list because this list has some things that aren't right.
I saw a visceral Star Wars game on there. Rip in peace.
wow.
Rest
So,
in
okay.
peace, indeed.
Within the first.
Did you make a
here's-
list too, Alexa?
Here is the definitive release date list, confirmed release date list for Q1.
Cool.
Games
Wait,
that have release dates.
Just pick the top ones.
Yeah, don't list everything.
Just the ones that you think will actually make this conversation, because we want to talk about everything for 2018. not
most
just
of them are
Q1.
weeaboo games, and you won't care.
Right.
What
So
about
this
Ni
is
no
Q1.
Kuni?
So we
Right.
got-
She doesn't even fight.
Okay, ladies.
Right,
I have
she
my
says.
list. I have my list of games I'm
Okay.
excited for. So
Go for it.
January 23rd, Lost Sphere.
Yes.
February 6th, Shadow of the Colossus. February 15th, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Anyone else?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, February 15th, Secret of Mana. March 20th, Sea of Thieves. 23rd, Ni no Kuni 2. 23rd, A Way Out. 27th, Far Cry 5. April 13th, We Happy Few. And then these are just Q1s that don't have a release date. Anthem, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human.
Anthem's Q1? No way.
No,
No,
Q4.
this- yeah.
Q4.
Oh, okay.
Detroit Become Human, Dragon Quest 11.
Crackdown 3.
There you go. God of War, Harvest Moon, Light of Hope. I'm going to give it another chance on console. Jurassic World Evolution.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Kirby Star Allies, Monster Hunter World, Overkill's The Walking Dead, Project Octopath Traveler, Red Dead, Spider-Man, State of Decay 2, The Wolf Among Us Season 2, and Vampire.
What about Detroit Become Human?
She said
I
it.
said
She
that.
said
What about Metro Exodus?
Did not mention that. Final Fantasy 7 and Dontnod's New Life is Strange.
And one that none of you will ever have on your list, but I'm going to talk about anyway because I feel like it. Hero U, which is the Kickstarter game from like a billion years ago by the same people who made Quest for Glory, which is of course my favorite game franchise of all time.
Oh, good for you,
So
Steimer.
that Hero U
Wow.
will finally see the light of day next year, and I am very excited about it.
Did somebody mention Shenmue?
I was gonna talk about Shenmue.
Did anybody mention Skull and Bones?
Nope. Those were my personal games.
I'm not sold in Skull and Bones.
Yeah,
Me
no,
neither.
no,
I was
until
until
I
I
need to
learned
see
it's a
more.
combat
Yeah.
game.
I'm with you.
I'm uncoordinated, so I don't know how well I will do in a ship on the sea.
What about Ori and the Will of the Wisps? Do you think
that
that's coming out
confirmed?
next year or 2019?
I'm gonna guess 2019.
Yeah, it's a little too close to.
I love that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is on this game's radar list, which is like
LOL.
that's LOL.
LOL.
No.
Okay, so who wants to begin? Britt, since
Clearly
you have
Brittany
a list.
does.
I already read all my lists off, girls.
I know, but that's a lot. That's a
But,
giant. That's a giant list.
Do you
Okay.
have like one that you would like pee yourself if it came out tomorrow?
No, and this is the problem. I pee myself is
I don't know.
because
I don't know why
in
you would do
20
that, but-
this year we got a new installment in like all of my favorite franchises. We had a new Resident Evil game, a new Zelda game, a new Mario game, Divinity, Mass Effect. Yeah, and I'm sure I'm spacing on some other ones. I think did Pokemon come out this year?
No.
That was last year. Okay. So maybe Nino Kuni sounds fun. Secret of Mana remake. I'm looking forward to that. I'm interested to see how Sea of Thieves ultimately shapes out. But right now, the one I'm most looking forward to that has a confirmed release date is Far Cry 5 because of that co-op action.
Yeah, the co-op in that game, we talked about this a little bit last week, is well done. I do think it's interesting that they don't let your narrative progression transfer. It's just the open world progression, which seems like a mistake to me, but there must be something from a design perspective that maybe they decided to make that choice. Right. I would have preferred to be otherwise, but I think that game looks great. I still think it feels a little too samey, like previous Far Cry, but I think it looks good. I think it'll be well done.
Yeah, that won't be an issue because I've never finished a Far Cry game before. So this is all kind of like new and exciting to me.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes, experience it. Steimer, was there anything that jumped off that list for you?
Besides the one I mentioned, my old ass adventure games that I love so much. And I'm let's see, let me look. I mean, obviously Red Dead Redemption. I 100%ed Red Dead, the first one, or technically the second one, whatever.
Red Dead Redemption was not a sequel. People,
it wasn't.
I'm very passionate about this.
But so I'm excited, but also sort of apprehensive just because of the way they've currently marketed it. I'm concerned slightly about the protagonist because I don't know that I'm going to be able to relate or like this person.
if he's a dick,
If he's just 100% garbage as a human soul.
You mean like the
Like
characters in Grand Theft Auto 5, for example?
I found things slightly redeemable about each of those people.
Okay, so you just for the record, you use the word slightly redeemable, but we can agree that they were not good people.
They were not the greatest, but they had either humor or...
Humor is not a morally
You don't-
redeeming quality.
It is for me.
as a salty person, what's a redeemable quality?
That's a great
Because I
question.
feel like you
on the spot.
I don't actually know. I think it's just like whether or not I feel like they have something interesting about them. And I did find something interesting about Michael. And I found something interesting about Trevor. And of course, I'm forgetting the last guy's name.
Don't ask me.
Oops.
Shit.
The other guy.
Not Trevor.
Franklin.
And he's got a longer name. So, of course, I would never remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Really?
it's two syllables.
OMG, really?
too
Christine?
No, I don't
Lynn.
know. Franklin. He's not Trevor, so no one knows him. Trevor was the standout, like the star of that game. I would say.
Breakout star of GTA 5. Trevor.
But for this new bro in Red Dead Redemption 2, I just don't. I guess I'm not intrigued by him, and that's the problem I'm finding.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily.
We don't know anything about him.
We don't
yet.
know anything about him. And the marketing that we have seen, the marketing, if that's what you want to call it, it wasn't that great. We've talked about this before.
It's a horsey and a bunch of guns.
The horsey was great.
Horsey was awesome.
I want to know if I'm going to accidentally kill my horse like I did in Red Dead 1.
It's
You
probably-
what?
So there was several missions where I'd ride the horse up. I'd park it behind me, right, and be like, "You stay here, horse. I'm going up ahead with my gun. Don't come here." And so I would crawl up to the front, and for whatever fucking reason, the horse ran. Like I was literally crosshairs
missed
were
you.
up.
It was like,
Crosshairs,
Steimer,
it really was.
wait, where are
Crosshairs were up
you?
to shoot this guy in the window. The horse ran
No.
by at the same, and I shot it in the head, and I was like, "What?"
What about The Wolf Among Us Season 2?
Yeah. Well, I have mixed
Hold on,
feelings.
we're hard pivoting here.
Yeah, that was a hard pivot.
Oh, I thought you were done talking about Red Dead.
That was a hard pivot.
God damn it.
It's okay, Britt. We still
now,
love you.
now we've committed to the hard pivot because we've talked about it for longer than 10 seconds.
Before we move on to The Wolf Among Us, full disclosure, I never finished Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead
One.
Redemption,
Red Dead
excuse me.
Redemption.
Okay.
I played maybe 20 hours of that game. So not a lot. But if you've listened to me talk about GTA or other Rockstar games, the only Rockstar game that I've really loved was Max Payne. I don't know why that one out of all of them, but there's just been something about the open world of Rockstar games that I appreciate from a game development perspective. And I've said this over and over again about GTA 5 and how I did not like the storylines in that game. And after watching John play through all three different endings, I was just like, wow, I can't believe that's the direction they went. And I stand firm that it's not for me, but I appreciate what they've done. The attention to detail in the open world, the amount of quests, how the quests interact together, the art in that game, the level design, I appreciate it from a gameplay perspective.
Sure.
And can say, I get why that game is as successful as it is. It just was not for me. I'm hoping that Red Dead Redemption 2 can turn it around for me. However, everything we've seen from the marketing material so far, and if Steimer, who 100%ed the first game, is like, I don't know if it's going to get there. And the saddest part to me was when this game was announced, when that first key art was revealed and everyone was looking at these silhouettes of these characters. Westworld had just come out and everyone was super obsessed with it. And I was all about Dolores as this badass character. And I was like, where's Dolores in this game? And I still feel that way. And it sucks to me that that's the first thing that I think of, because I don't want that to prohibit me from liking this game just because they don't have that female character, but because it's inherently set in the old West. The role of women in that time was dramatically different than it is today, right?
Yeah.
So they're definitely going to have different roles, but I'm hoping that Rockstar will buck that trend in the way that they treated female characters in Red Dead Redemption.
But in Red Dead Redemption, they had Bonnie, and Bonnie was great.
Bonnie was great, but she was one character in that giant game.
I mean, sure, but I'm just saying it's not like every game or every woman in the game is going to fulfill the same role.
Correct. You're right. I'm not demanding that it is. I'm not sitting here on my pedestal being like, you need to make more female characters. I don't want to be that person. But at the same time, I think it's an opportunity for them to capitalize on a school of thought that's happening now in game development to be like, what if we did make this character who was different and who was cool, who was a Dolores for this world? And if you haven't watched Westworld, please stop what you're doing. Just kidding. Don't stop listening to the show. After the show's done,
There goes our conversion rate.
find your way to Westworld. It is such an excellent series. And I think it would be exciting for me if they did something like that.
Sure, but Westworld came out, but this game's been in development for 6 years.
So
the Westworld, the show did not exist. So it wouldn't have been able to look at that show and been like, oh, let's use this as a reference for this character.
I think there are many creative, talented people working at Rockstar that they don't need to see Westworld. My point was that series was out at the same time that they released this asset. And so in my mind, I was just like, this is a really cool moment for badass Western woman. Wouldn't it be awesome if one of those 7 fucking people was a cool badass character? It would be cool. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, I
here,
agree with
Steimer.
you too.
I'm not mad about it, Steimer.
Okay.
the Wild West, women did have different roles, but this is a video game. I'm sure Rockstar's not going for the most historically accurate story or whatever. Like they can easily implement some women in there. Like
they're going to have women. They had them in the trailer.
But I'm talking more. Yes, Steimer. I'm talking more.
She's meaning playable protagonist.
Yeah, like I loved Bonnie. She was a freaking badass. But I think it would be great to play as like a woman actually, and like ride my horse and shoot things out of the sky. What?
I don't know.
No, what? No, talk to me, baby.
Talk to me. I mean, I guess for me, I don't care about that.
It doesn't matter to you, and that's fine.
That's fine.
And it doesn't have to matter to you. I'm saying it matters to me.
That's fair.
It matters to me, Steimer.
Okay. I hear you. I guess the interesting thing, the thing that I was thinking about and I was trying to remember, and that's why I kind of
give me the awkward silence. It's fine.
It's interesting because I'm pretty sure John's wife, who I've forgotten the name of, was part of the gang in some capacity, correct?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
It's been a while.
I'm
pretty sure she was. And so when you're like, where's the woman? And I'm like, technically she'd be there at some point. Again, it's difficult to tell where this is in the timeline besides prequel because obviously it is, but when?
Right.
And
Abigail's her name.
Abigail.
Does it say anything about her being part
While
of the gang?
with the gang, served as a prostitute.
Oh, wonderful.
Probably
Cool.
just among the gang and how she met her future husband. Sometimes before the robbery where John was shot, she would marry John and become pregnant with their children.
Okay,
Yeah.
so never mind. I'm going to go ahead and take a back seat. Homer Simpson into the bushes on that one.
But no, I mean, me too. Like, having a playable woman protagonist would be awesome, but if there's not, I'm not going to effing boycott it. It's like, okay, it's fine. I'm still going to play your game and love it. It would just be a cool move.
Yeah, no,
That's all.
that's my point. Alexa Ray, do you have thoughts about this or do you not care like Steimer does not care?
There was a cool horsey.
The Wolf Among Us season 2.
want
They
it.
had great horses in Red Dead.
Well, no, I love the original. Like, I trust Rockstar. I mean, I would still really like a Ocean's 8 style GTA where it's just like all women being awesome. But like, I want to play Red Dead.
Yeah,
I
I feel like I don't have enough to go on
I'm 1000%
yet.
playing this game. Exactly. I guess my point was more that when they were just releasing stills, I was more hyped versus now that I've seen trailers.
I mean, we've seen one thing, and
I might go blind. Try and go
couple
blind
things.
on that game.
Yeah.
I think that, and that's kind of, I'm like, I feel like this game might actually benefit from no one talking
The
about it.
expectations have been festering in our head for a
Yeah,
while now.
The festering needs to
The festering
needs to hold
be
off a little
quelled.
bit.
And yeah.
So
Yes.
you tried to hard pivot to Wolf Among Us.
So Wolf Among Us, as a refresher, originally released October 2013.
Oh my God, it's been that long?
Yes.
Yes.
So by the time the next season comes out, it'll be hopefully not a full 5 years later. I hope the first episode releases in the first half of next year.
And hopefully Telltale fixes their damn engine before it comes out.
I don't know that that's going to happen.
we can only pray.
Yeah.
Where are those prayer candles when we need them? So they just announced this just about a month ago, 2 months ago. They announced that they were going to be working on season 2. So for people who aren't familiar, it follows. So
It's a prequel to the Fables comic.
correct, and follows Bigby Wolf. And
Snow.
I
White.
really loved this game. As far as the stuff that Telltale has gotten right, this was one of the licenses that I think really worked well with what they do. The art style worked well with the comic art style from Fables. And I think that they really nailed some of these tough choices, which I think they've kind of gotten a little light on in some of the more recent series. And it had a kind of cliffhanger ending. And I was
totally.
really looking forward to something sooner, and I think I've just forgotten about it, but I'm gonna go back and give this game another playthrough. I'm very much excited for this. I'm just really trepidatious about it being janky again and me like having my experience ruined because of the jank.
Yeah, I'm like, so I've read all of Fables and all of like the side stuff. Like, I'm a huge Fables fan, and when they announced this, I like went off the deep end, and I loved it. But based on Telltale's latest games and seeing how they run, and just seeing like Batman was disappointing to me, Guardians like that was really bad. I didn't like it.
Guardians
Like,
was a mistake.
The
yeah.
last Guardians was a huge mistake. Like, Minecraft is like okay, like, and then the last Walking Dead season was like, and I'm just like, and then they had those layoffs, and maybe if another studio was making this, I'd be like a little more excited about it. I hate to peg it on Telltale, but like Telltale, I'm gonna play this, but Telltale has to win me back. I don't want to say I don't feel good about this, but I'm definitely very hesitant to like get super excited about it.
That's fair. This is the only IP that they've announced that I'm actually like actively looking forward to playing. I know that they're doing a final season of The Walking Dead and they have the collection
I'm
coming
over
out.
that already.
Yeah, I have to be frank and say, like, as much as I love season 1 and season 2, I'm not like as much looking forward to the end of Clementine's story as I am looking forward to what happens with Bigby, right?
Right.
That's where I'm at.
And they also had that whatever of the company in November.
The restructuring and the layoffs.
Thank you. English is hard.
Yes.
So maybe, The Wolf Among Us season 2 will not be so janky. Maybe they will.
It's gonna.
Do
I don't know
what
how
they
long
said
it's
they
gonna
would
take
do.
them to get their tech straight.
I don't know.
That's the question.
But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. But we will keep an eye on that for you guys. Do we actually think that Anthem is going to release in 2018?
No.
No.
Bungie's having so many freaking problems with Destiny 2. Like, fix the game you have out now.
Well,
Fix
this
it
is
now.
BioWare.
Figure out.
BioWare.
Yes.
Oh wait,
You're
what the?
Anthem?
Yeah.
What was
the
I
BioWare
thinking
game.
of?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
What was I thinking
Bungie,
of? Why was
BioWare
I?
similar? They sound similar.
I think what
Oh
we're
no, because it looks like Destiny. I'm
right. So
sorry.
the idea is
yeah.
that people are saying that this is going to be BioWare's first foray into a Destiny-like game.
Right.
And I think our concerns when it was originally announced, when we saw like the first little bit of gameplay at E3, when they revealed like the name of the IP and some more details about it, was that we were like, well, listen, what BioWare nails is narrative. Like, they are great at narrative. They're great at building relationships. They're great at making meaningful choices. What they're not super great at, but they do okay at, like passing grade to good, is combat in games. And that's the thing that Destiny gets that nails, right? So, like, and when we talked about it previously, we were like, if Bungie and BioWare could meet in the middle, if Bungie brought what they know about mechanics,
B
and
squared.
BioWare brought what they know about narrative, they could make like this fucking amazing powerhouse game.
And then ArenaNet came in there with some endgame shit and their economy.
Yes. Steimer was talking about this when I was bitching about the economy and all the shit happening.
Well, it was when you were talking about
Destiny,
the coins,
yeah.
and I was like, ArenaNet literally has an economist like on staff, and his whole job is to make sure that the game and currencies and everything is balanced so that nothing gets inflated or crazy. And so shit like, oh, this thing that used to be worth 5 coins is now 30 because oops, we just messed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's this gonna be okay person.
Yeah, and like, and so like for me, Anthem, I think I don't even know if I'd call it like a most anticipated for 2018, because I truly do not think that game is going to release.
I don't think it is either.
In 2018. I think like Q1 2019 at the earliest. We're just gonna like push you off the edge of the table here.
See you later.
Like a cat.
Goodbye. But a game that was supposed to come out this fall that got bumped to next year, that I know Steimer was looking forward to, Crackdown 3.
Oh my god!
Finally, an
finally.
Xbox exclusive that's supposed to be. I mean, if they bump out of early 2018,
I'm going to cry and be worried about this game.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
think you
real
should be
worried.
a little worried about it now.
It's
But
been
I've
several
got
years.
other things to think about right now. I'm not worried about Crackdown.
so let's talk about this game. So, open world city, using your powers, the power of the Xbox One. Terry Crews is a playable
those
character.
teraflops.
You crack down.
You do.
What to you is most exciting about this timer?
I mean, the thing is that I played it at E3, the show. Yeah, it was E3, and playing it, I was like, this feels good. It feels like Crackdown. What Crackdown nails is just the gameplay and running around and throwing random shit at people and it killing them and you being like, bah! Like, it's just fun. Like, it's just good old plain simple fun. And the narrative is whatever, and like all of it is whatever. But what's really great about it is when you get people together and you just start smashing shit, and it's just very satisfying. So I am very much looking forward to this game, and I want you all to play with me because
I want to smash some
we can
shit.
crack down together.
Crackdown.
I see what you did
Crack
there.
down, diggity down.
It's
Yeah.
just fun. Like there's again, like it doesn't do a lot of things right, but it does the fun part
I'm so
real well.
excited to play.
You're so happy right now.
I am, because it's fun to smash.
Alexa,
It's like
are
Hulk
you
smash.
super excited for Metal Gear Survive?
No, I want to talk about Kingdom Hearts now. Can I talk about Kingdom Hearts now?
you can.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, you can.
I'm going to begin my Kingdom Hearts hype with a story about Kingdom Hearts fans. And if you're Kingdom Hearts fans, you know this to be true. Hands in the air. We
Don't care.
are of all of the fandom fans, you can abuse us. You can give us no information. You can push the damn game. You could give us a piece of concept art and not talk to us for 2 fucking years. We will always come back and say, yeah, that's okay. I wouldn't call us like the most patient fans, but we are definitely like the group of fans that is the most like, we'll take whatever you give us.
You have, like,
just give us a little
Stockholm syndrome.
hit. Just give me a little hit. Just give me a little one. Just let me snort it.
Let me
Something. Give me
Let
something.
me
Let me snort
snort
that
it.
concept art. Give me a soundbite. Give me something.
What if it was just like,
Just a soundbite. Anything.
Was that your Mickey Mouse
Just
impression?
give me anything.
I think it's Goofy, isn't it? Or
That
no,
sounded
that's
like
it.
Mickey
That's
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
It is Mickey Mouse.
That is
I don't know
that is
shit.
Mickey Mouse.
We
are, I don't want to say
Like
we're
I'm
gluttons
thinking.
for punishment, but like we are like if the world of video games is like a dungeon and you are like chained up in like the dungeon of like the beholden to the drip feed of whatever information publishers give you before this game comes out. We are like on the racks just being like, yeah, that's okay, just a little bit, it's fine, we'll wait, it's okay, it's fine. Like we are
Farmers.
all in. We're
Dun,
bought
dun,
in.
dun, dun,
Did
dun,
you
dun.
see about this leak?
The leak, yeah, that does not look real.
No,
and I can
it
tell
doesn't,
you, I can
sadly.
tell you why it's not
To the
real.
placeholder date of November 1st.
No,
Okay.
no, but if this game, I will say that being said about us Kingdom Hearts game being so fucking patient, if this game gets pushed out of 2018,
Will there be blood in the street?
there will
Well,
be blood. Like I'm not gonna backflip off the earth. I'm literally going to like Sherman's March to the Sea,
Start
that
your own
shit,
purge.
and just rampage. Like I will be so upset.
But will you though?
Yes,
Will
because
you
that
actually,
game,
though?
I will cry. I will actually cry. That game, the first game came out, I was 14.
Wow, that's loud.
I was
That was very startling.
notice how I went completely silent.
We all did.
Stop talking.
But that game was 14 and now I'm almost a hag of 30. Like I can't.
Excuse
Oh
you.
my God, take that
Excuse
back.
you.
I'm old on the inside. I am
Nice
old on the
cover-up,
inside.
Alexa.
No. I am old on the inside. I'm tired of everything.
I'ma
I'm
growl
old
at
on the
you.
inside. You can growl at me. However, like I was at the Kingdom Hearts concert at, you guys saw the video. I didn't know that the trailer was going to show. I had a total meltdown in the
Fantastic
audience
video.
in front of my friends that work for Square
pretty
Enix, so they
cute.
got to see that great meltdown. I just like I've been waiting for this game literally forever. I've been waiting for it for over half of my natural born life.
I mean,
That's too long to wait for a video game.
That's a long time. This game that was supposed to be like maybe 2 games or 3 games is now 10 games. Like I have played every spin-off. I play the mobile game.
Birth by Sleep.
I
What
read
are
all
those
these-
such
book about
weird
it.
It
names?
makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
It does make sense.
2
and I
and 3
just-
quarters divided by the square root of 25.
I'm just like,
Right.
I'm
No,
just
seriously.
like, look, Square Enix. And I know you listen to this podcast, so don't pretend like you didn't hear me. It's been like just finish the game. Like I know you're all concerned with like super polished and all this other stuff, and you had this nice little artisanal game named Final Fantasy 15 that came out last year that you're still supporting. But like just finish the game. That game does not need to be a 60-80 hour cuckoo fest, which is what all of the other games are, which is fine. I love it. Play them again. But like if you put this game out and it's like 20 hours of main story, that's okay.
is it though? I feel like fans
at
would
this
riot.
point-
I think it's okay. Just
because
put the
it's been
fucking
so
game
long.
out. Don't pad it. Don't pad it because they released 2 entire games. Chain of most of Chain of Memories, most of 358 over 2 days, and all except for the end of Dream Drop Distance on the 3DS were all padding with like this little bit of plot point that you need. Like I didn't need the body snatching. I didn't need the time travel. Like we don't need it. Let's wrap this bitch up. I am ready to go.
Put a bow on it.
Put a bow on
Set it
it.
outside.
Put it outside. Give it to me.
Brittany's
Like,
holding a lighter over there.
it's just been
hold your phone.
it's been too long, and if it gets pushed, I think this Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts 3 was officially announced as in development in 2013. It was the same E3 that they announced that Versus 13 was now 15.
Lol.
So it will have been 5 years since they said it was in development. And I fucking know it's been in development long before that. I know that. I saw that video with the Woody and the Buzz flying around like 6 years ago. That was on YouTube. Like, come on, man.
What are you playing?
She's playing the soundtrack. We're going to get content tagged.
Oh.
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't like this at first. But
No, this is the theme song. Just give me the damn game. Like, that's all I care about. Every video game next year can be canceled. I don't care. You can chain me in a basement and say you can only play one video game. I will wait. Let's just do it.
For everyone who's listening to the podcast, Brittany is holding up a lighter on her phone because we don't have an actual lighter in the studio, but
For, like,
give
safety
it.
reasons.
Just like, come on. I literally wrote the book on Kingdom Hearts. Literally
Like,
did it.
Literally.
You can buy it. Amazon.com, Google Boss Fight Books. Put my name in the search bar. You can still buy it for your friends for the holidays. So it's 10% off. But like, really, like, give me this damn game. Give it to me.
I'm worried about what might happen if this game slips to Q1
Well,
2019.
well, remember that time, Andrea, on like a Tuesday afternoon, I called you and I was like, I just broke up with my boyfriend. Can I come over? And we drank wine and watched Lord of the Rings, and I sat in silence and like drank. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna call up and be like,
not the worst
Andrea,
thing.
Kingdom Hearts 3 got pushed to 2019, and I will just come over and sit quietly and get blasted.
We'll watch
I'll do it with you.
Thunderbolt Fantasy
Yay.
and drink wine.
That'd be fun.
I will probably have to go to therapy. Like, I will need help if this gets pushed into 2019.
I'm kind of concerned that you're so emotionally attached to a fictional universe, but considering
Are you though?
I mean, a little. Like, I mean, what happens if, like Nomura-san came out and was like, "I'm done. That's over."
I think he needs to be done. To be totally frank,
Okay.
he's a very imaginative dude. Like, he's very cuckoo, and I love where his brain goes. And he's a great creator. But right now, because of who he is, Square has him spread over all these projects. They have him finishing Kingdom Hearts. They have him consulting or like supervising like 7 remake. Like, I think that guy was done with Kingdom Hearts like 2 games ago, and I think the next thing is already in his head. Like, he wanted to finish Versus 13. Versus 13 was going to be way darker and like super, like even more bananas than it was now. But I think he's ready to move on to the next game, and that's fine if it's not a Kingdom Hearts. You go do your thing. But I think he's ready to be done, and like I will 100% get it.
You will follow him to the end of the earth.
I will follow him into the dark.
Okay.
Like that Death Cab for Cutie song.
Oh, that's a good song.
Is anybody but me excited for Metro Exodus? Am I the only one on this panel that's like, this game looks amazing?
No. I can't say because I don't know enough about it. So do you want to try to sell me on it in like a minute?
It's a first-person shooter.
Yes. So have you played anything in the Metro franchise? No. Let me see if I can loan you my disc. So they did a collection of it last year. HD remastered remake. I don't know the exact terminology. I'd have to look it up. But I really liked this game because it's, to me, definitive of a first-person shooter, single-player, narrative-based experience that was really well done. And there's so few of those. Obviously, we had Wolfenstein this year for Machine Games. There's been others in the past. But, like, the focus of this game was, like, survival horror FPS. And I think you would really dig that.
Yeah, that sounds up my alley.
And so I'm going to have you play it because I think once you play it, you'll be like, oh, I get it.
Cool.
I know some people were underwhelmed by the asset that they showed at the Game Awards this year, and that people were like super excited by the asset that they showed at E3 at the Xbox press conference. And then they're like, oh, this Game Award asset doesn't look as good. And I would say don't let that deter you, because there's a lot of times where these vertical slices, these demos, these cinematic trailers we see aren't necessarily representative of what the final product's going to look like anyway. Watch Dogs, I'm looking at you. But I think that what's exciting about this is it's a franchise that is kind of like a cult fan favorite, a little bit of a dark horse, has gotten not enough attention, and is something that when they first announced it at E3, I was like, yes, I did not think I was going to get another Metro game, and I'm pretty pumped about that. Also pumped about Darksiders 3, but not going to spend too much time talking about that because we really don't know anything about that game and haven't seen anything about the development of that game. But something I think that, I'd mentioned earlier that I was excited about is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think,
Spider-Man.
Marvel Spider-Man coming exclusively to PlayStation 4, which is like another huge win for Sony and for PlayStation, really knocking it out of the park with their exclusives over the last couple of years. For me, I have been looking forward to what Insomniac was going to work on post-Resistance. I think some people who are maybe newer to video games who never played the Resistance franchise have forgotten that franchise even existed.
That's fair.
Who here has played a Resistance game?
I know of them. I never played them.
So, what's great about that is that they really got like the art direction and the tone and the narrative of that franchise. Like when you played that game, it had a very distinct feeling. And some people didn't like it. It was a little bit more survival horror as far as shooters go than, your average shooter is. But the thing that I like is that Insomniac is so diverse in the type of games they make. I mean, this is also the studio that makes Ratchet and Clank. And what I really love about the promise of Spider-Man is it's taking the traversal that they developed for Sunset Overdrive, which I thought was really innovative, and they're bringing that into this really well-known universe of Spider-Man and Marvel, and also bringing in these combat elements. The thing I'm a little nervous about is that we've seen relatively little of this game, and it's supposed to be coming out in 2018. Generally, as people who've worked in the media business a long time, we would have played this at least once, potentially twice by now, if it's going to be launching in the next 3 to 4 months, right?
But
do you think that's a fair assessment?
Yes, but I think it's probably going to be end of year, if that.
You think it's going to get pushed?
Yes.
You think it'll get pushed past summer?
This would make a good summer game.
Will we see it again at E3 for its 33?
Oh God, probably.
You think so?
I don't know.
I think that would be a mistake. I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, but I think them showing it for like another E3
but just because
might be
of
too
what
many.
you just said, like it wasn't at PSX. We haven't seen a lot of it. The demos we have seen were not playable. At least I was never able to play any of it.
Right, and I haven't even heard of other outlets going and doing behind the scenes playthroughs, because sometimes they'll pick like an IGN or a GameSpot or whoever to give them like a special preview, like a Game Informer cover story, for example.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard that either, and so it makes me nervous and a little worried that like none of our colleagues in the business have gotten a hands-on with it either, outside of what they should behind the closed doors at E3.
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna get pushed. Because like what you're just gonna release a game with no one having played it before?
I mean, I kind of feel like Andromeda came out like that, right? Ooh. They did a very limited media preview like 2 months ahead of Andromeda's release, and like, was that maybe a bad decision? Was it indicative that they weren't confident in the game? I mean, maybe. Obviously, Andromeda had a lot of problems when it launched, right?
Yep.
I really hope that that's not the case with Spider-Man, because I believe and trust in Insomniac, and they have shown that they put out great products, that they don't pull out broken, unfinished games, right? And so I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that this is going to blow everyone's socks off. However, I need to like vocalize it. Alexa, what do you think?
I like Spider-Man.
Yes.
That is all she wrote, ladies. I
think pushing it would be a mistake. I think it should stay in spring, because they have this, like Sony has this really large spread of like TBD games like Days Gone and Last of Us 2 and like all of these games that are no release date that have to come out at some point. And it's very clearly that Spider-Man is farther along.
Right.
So I think that
I don't know that it's far enough along to push it out that quickly, though.
I feel like they're saving Days Gone for holiday next year, and I feel like Spider-Man will be like
Days Gone is not a holiday system seller game.
Well, I don't know. Like they've put a lot
whereas
of
Spider-Man might make sense either in summer or fall to me.
I think God of War and Days Gone are going to be end of the year, and I think Spider-Man will be in like the horizon spot somewhere in like February and March.
I think
there's no way that this game comes out then.
I think they're going to keep God of War in Q1 or maybe early Q2 next year. I don't think it's going to push.
I don't know, man. That PlayStation experience, like fireside chat, was anything to go off. It sounds like there's.
That's a fair point, actually.
That gave me that killed all my confidence in that game coming out. early next year. The fact that the director sat there and was like, yeah, it's like, and just got like murdered by his co-hosts. I don't think that game's coming out in Q1 of next year.
I think maybe none of the PlayStation games are coming out in Q1. They might just not be ready. And to be honest,
I think Shadow of the Colossus is probably going to
sure.
maintain
I mean,
its
it
release
is, yeah.
date,
I mean, I don't really count that as a thing. But
Wow.
It's an old game with some new paint. That's fine.
That's true.
The grass looks so soft.
The grass looks so itchy.
So it's like Sony's either gonna have an amazing year next year, or we'll see what happens.
Maybe they'll have an Xbox year.
Where
Everyone has an Xbox year once in a while. It's fine.
Speaking of Xbox,
aside
where
from Crackdown. Sea of Thieves.
Where's everything? Oh, I mean, really?
I mean,
It's Sea of
it's
Thieves
all I've
and
got,
Crackdown.
Andrea.
I know.
Hold on.
Real good
we
or real
had
bad.
we had a lot of fun playing that game at E3, and I know they're doing like the alpha tests right now, and they've been expanding how many people are playing in that game. Yes.
So I have all of the announced Xbox exclusives
Yes.
Okay.
for next year. It's Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
And that other game we were just talking
Crackdown
about,
3.
Crackdown. State of Decay 2.
Who is excited for another zombie game?
That'd
Of
be
course, our
Brett.
zombie fan.
Hey,
Doop,
let me eat
doop,
your
doop.
brains.
Scrolling down my list of
But we don't
all
have
the
a
games.
confirmed.
That's it.
Where's my Halo?
Do we have a confirmed window for State of Decay 2 though?
Yes, we do. The window for State of Decay 2 is Q1, Q2. Yeah, right.
Do we really think? No, Q1's definitely not happening. If they're pushing Sea of Thieves in March, they don't want to double compete, right? With
Well,
their
yeah, like,
exclusives?
considering they only
exclusives.
have like less than a handful.
Hey, that's 3.
Spread it
That's
out.
3. That's 3.
That's
That's
good
it?
though.
3.
That's I
1,
mean, they've been talking
2,
about those.
3.
However,
Uno, dos, tres.
I would argue that none of those titles are system sellers.
Crackdown is the closest, only because it at least has franchise familiarity. Sea
Yeah.
of Thieves is a brand new thing that.
The
not a lot of
the
people would know
community
about.
on Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2 would have to be like freaking stellar, I think, for that to move systems.
Pushing a
But-
multiplayer only game as like your system seller is
No.
a gigantic
oh yeah,
mistake.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't think State of Decay is going to resonate with people to
No.
pay for hardware, even at the Xbox One S price. You know, that like on sale in the holiday here for as low as I think 180. I saw it, but like generally retailing for 249. Like that's still like a lot of money to spend for that one game. And like we haven't heard anything about what's happening with Halo. You know, we haven't heard anything if there's going to be another installment in Gears. We have to imagine there's going to be.
Right.
Right? Like, and then after that, like, what's next?
They canceled.
You need some new franchises.
They canceled all their shit though. They canceled the new Phantom Dust.
Yep.
They pulled the plug on Scalebound, which
Yep.
freaking blows. Like that would have been a system seller.
Yeah.
But not
Also
if it was bad.
bridging the gap because like Japan does, like, people in Japan don't buy Xboxes, and the Xbox doesn't have any like Japanese games on it. Like
Yeah.
P5
Yeah, but
near.
the 360 tried and it didn't
didn't
ever
do good.
penetrate Japan either. Sorry, that was a really poor choice of words.
No,
I know it's good.
I think it's important to remember that, you know, like, they don't need to be competitive in Japan. They don't need Japanese games. They do need
games.
great
They do need exclusives.
AAA experiences. They either need to kind of have some kind of amazing partnership with like a major franchise that already exists, or they need to come with a brand new IP that's really exciting, like how PlayStation 4 launched with Bloodborne, right? Like that was
Bloodborne, Horizon.
that was amazing
new
out the gate. So that
franchises.
came out Q1 right after launch, right after the holiday launch in 2013. That Bloodborne was out Q1 2014. You know, and I feel like ever since then, Xbox has just been trailing in exclusives, and Sony continues to fund first party in a way that Microsoft has not been doing. And that's disappointing as somebody who loves my Xbox One,
Yep.
who's been starting to play more third party games on my Xbox One X. Like, I want something great. And like, Quantum Break just did not do it. You know, like,
yeah,
they
like it
spent-
was lame.
you know, like
Oh,
they
I
spent
liked
a lot
it.
of money. Like, listen, it was not a bad game, right? But it was not like an
No.
amazing all-star game of the year contender,
no, no,
right?
no,
And that's
no,
what they
no.
need.
I don't think any major third party developers will be willing to take the Xbox money to make it an exclusive or a timed exclusive after what happened with Rise of the Tomb Raider. People were mad. Or Titanfall. People were freaking mad.
Yeah, but what if they just bought it outright like Sony bought Spider-Man outright? Like, that game is not coming to Xbox One, right? Like, that is a PlayStation 4 exclusive game. Like, will it come to PC eventually? Maybe, but I don't think that game's ever going to come to Xbox One.
I can't think of any franchise that they would want to buy outright other than like another like Call of Duty or a Destiny or something that something that fulfills that multiplayer thing.
PUBG.
I mean,
you can have PUBG. I don't give a shit.
Like, I love Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's also not a system seller, sadly.
But it would be a good artistic choice.
It would be. But PUBG was probably their play, but they're never gonna get an exclusive on that, right? Like, it's exclusive for right now, but like that's definitely coming to PlayStation eventually.
I don't think that a lot of their things are ever going to be sole exclusives, simply because, like you said, they aren't pumping that money into first party or even purchasing things outright. So they're just like, their strategy seems to be timed exclusives are good enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're going for. And I hope every year, this is my wish before every E3, is that Phil Spencer has been somewhere cooking up some weird voodoo shit, and like it will magically happen, and he'll be like, here's all of these amazing things, even though we have like no studios anymore and everything's sad over here. I just, because like you, I loved my 360 so much. And at this point, all I can really use my Xbox for is third parties and then Crackdown. Yeah. And that makes me sad because I also still stand by, I think their controller is way better than the PlayStation controller.
I am looking forward to Ori because I really loved the Blind Forest. So the Will of the Wisps is coming sometime, hopefully in 2018, but we don't have much about that. But again, not a system seller. Ladies, is there anything from this conversation you would like to make sure to sneak in before we wrap up? Obviously,
Detroit.
Yes. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. And just for the record, there's no way we could have potentially talked about every game we're looking forward to. We will talk about that more next year. These are just some of our highlights, but, tell me, what is it about Detroit that you're excited about? Did you play Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls?
I did indeed. And so what I'm excited, I think, most about for Detroit is, like, I do enjoy David Cage's stuff in general. And then I love that they took that tech demo, because that tech demo made me cry. That with Kara, when they first introduced this idea of a robot and like her becoming self-aware and having these feelings that she's being literally ripped apart, like disassembled, and the way she cries out in that scene, and then the guy stopping and putting her back together and being like, oh my God, just go, and like that touched me in a way that I wasn't expecting. And so I'm so excited that they moved forward with it and are creating this game, because I think David Cage does really interesting stuff. And I think the way his stories branch is more unique than any other game out there. Like, no games branch the way his do. They go to some weird, dark places, and there's a lot of variety, in which I really appreciate. And I think Heavy Rain had like some weirdness. Like, I liked it, but the acting was a little weird, like a little off for me. There was a bit of jank to it. Beyond Two Souls, I was like, I didn't like the way he disjointed the narrative. I didn't think it worked. I didn't like that you would be playing one scene where you were supposed to be, you're trying to like impress this dude, and then the next, and he's kind of a dick to you, and then the next one he's a good guy. I don't know. It was very weird the way that they tried to make that work.
But so you're saying his experiences are inherently flawed?
There was always like something where I'm like, this is a little off, or this is a little off.
And I'm hoping he's attempting.
But oh yeah, 100%.
You see the potential.
I see the potential, and
you're hoping he brings it home.
Yes, I'm hoping that this is like just fucking nails this one, and it's cohesive, and everything works well, and just like seeing the gameplay demos that we have before, I'm like, I'm just really and I'm excited about the subject matter, because I don't know why. Like, really into robots.
Interesting. It's a potential future for us all. We may have AI robots,
and I think
we do have AI robots
already. It's called Roomba and Amazon Echo.
We do. AKA Alexa.
But for one of my favorite storylines of Mass Effect was the story of the Geth.
Mm-hmm.
And how the Quarians making them and then being like, oh shit,
They're
we did this a little
self-aware.
too good.
Shit.
Yeah.
And so I like that it's related in some, okay, I like the robot overlord thing. What's going on here? Like, are they people? What is life? What is a soul? How does this work? I love those sort of existential questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think David Cage is a very smart, interesting man. And I am just really stoked. I'm going to shut up now.
No, don't. I feel the same way. It's okay. Can I hard pivot?
Yes, of course.
I hope we hear something about Dragon Age.
I don't know that
I
we
think
will.
I
The
think
creative
we'll hear
director
something.
left. I have to imagine that threw
I don't
a
think we'll
wrench in
see
the
anything,
work.
but I think we'll start to hear something. In 2018, you don't think we'll hear a peep about it?
I mean, I think the most we would get is like a teaser at E3. And
I'll
that's
take a
it.
teaser. They have to do something, man.
They don't, though.
Well,
they're
Mass
probably going to be
Effects.
doubling down on Anthem, would be my guess.
Yeah, they might combine the teams to get it done.
Yeah.
You don't think they're gonna?
No.
They've already talked about how they're
They said
working on it.
They said it's under
Yeah,
development.
It
yes.
is, but
Yeah, but that could
It
mean
wouldn't-
like we're concepting stories on the whiteboard over there.
I'll take
it wouldn't surprise me if they take that team, the Mass Effect's Dragon Age team, and wrap them into work on Anthem, because that looks super duper ambitious.
It does, and I don't know how much they trust their Montreal team after Andromeda.
Yeah, that's true.
So they might be like, hey, you know what? Everyone's in the same building here.
Yeah,
Push
and
it
as a
together,
reminder,
make a
Inquisition,
baby.
Dragon Age Inquisition, which was a Game of the Year winner at many outlets, November 18th, 2014. So I would guess we won't see another Dragon Age at least until 2019 would be my
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
estimate.
I'd
That'll
like
be
to
a
see
little
a
while.
little something.
You just want Egghead back.
Oh fuck yeah, I do. I gotta know what the hell Egghead's
I want to
up
bitch
to.
slap him.
I know. So
That jerk.
This has been interesting, ladies. I think we have had a phenomenal, some would say iconic, record-breaking tentpole year for video games in 2017. So many fantastic titles. But I think 2018 will be another great year if a lot of these games don't slip. It's going to be a much different landscape this time next year as to talking about who were the winners and losers of video games. But let us know what you guys think. Of course, we're always interested to hear, was there a glaring misstep that we didn't talk about? Nothing, some of these smaller games, of course, we definitely glossed over, but like, was there a giant game that you're like, I can't believe you didn't talk about this one? Let us know. You can email us at contact@whatsgoodgames.com. You can write to us on Twitter at whatsgood_games, at facebook.com/whatsgoodgames. You can leave us comments on our YouTube video. We have lots of ways to get in touch. We will be a little absent over the next week or so through the holidays, as we will be spending time with friends and family. And when I say absent, I mean just in regards to us responding to you on social media and posting our regular photos and videos and things like that. We hope that you guys will also take the time to play games, spend time with people that you like. Hopefully there's people that you like, even if they're virtual people. Spend time with them too. Or just, chill. Take naps.
Oh my God.
Because
Naps
naps.
are so good.
Have a lovely time. We'll be back next week with our special Game of the Year awards. They're not what you're
They're
expecting.
unconventional.
Unconventional is a
Very
great word.
unconventional.
Britt, do you have any parting thoughts?
Negative. Love you all. Thank you
All
for all
right.
of your support so far.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week.